No doubt that the Phillies fans love this current team, but they also love some of the alums like Mickey Morandini or Ben Rivera. They get to reconnect with some of the players from years past here on Alumni Day in spring training. Shane Rowley on the left, Jason Michaels on the right. It's a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. That's Johnny and Mickey Morandini's line. They were out there a long time signing some autographs. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy with John Kruk after signing all the autographs here today. Mike Schmidt's going to join us in just a little bit. We'll hear from Greg Murphy as well. All right, so Michael Saunders is back in the lineup again today for the Phillies. One of two big additions offensively for the Phils this past offseason. They're looking for him in the middle of the lineup to provide some pop and some consistency in the outfield.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to get. Michael Saunders hit 24 home runs last year, and you have to remember the Phillies corner outfielders didn't hit a home run until almost mid-May of last season. Michael Saunders is going to supply not only some power in the corner playing right field, but he's also going to provide some leadership, having played in the postseason last year with Toronto.
All right, so he began his career with the Seattle Mariners. There was also a point where he was going to come to the Phillies in a trade, but now at 30 years old, after 2 years in Toronto, he's in the National League. Now, he had a great first half last year. He was an all-star, tailed off in the second half, and we asked him about that full season of playing baseball.
Honestly, I got tired. You know, the previous season, I missed the entire year with a knee injury, and you know, I was searching for answers as well. And you know, I wasn't allowed to really do anything up until mid-December of the previous year. And I think, quite frankly, I got tired. And you know, but if anything, I'm going to take that as a learning experience for myself. And you know, the saving grace for me was we ultimately got to the playoffs. We didn't get to the World Series where we wanted to be, but I felt like I performed well in the playoffs, and that was kind of you know, the motivation leading into the offseason that I needed. And you know, I'd like to more so look at that as a learning experience.
Well, the Phillies hope that learning experience will lead to success here in 2017. Clay Buchholz makes his second spring start today. He'll be opposed by left-hander Daniel Norris. Well, there's a little bit of fun that happens here in spring training. And for Cameron Rupp, helping to preview the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, he got a chance to take a little bit of a spin and a few selfies. We'll get to the lineup at first pitch when we return. Well, back here at Spectrum Field as we get set for today's ball game between the Phils and the Detroit Tigers. It's Alumni Day here at Spectrum Field, so a whole lot of activities going on prior to the start of today's game. So some of the alums who have found their way here: Dave Cash, the Phillies' former second baseman. Lee Elia was here early out at batting practice. Jason Michael was here as well. Ben Rivera, we talked about him before. There's Schmidt coming out and getting set to throw out the ceremonial first pitch to Pedro Feliz. Juan Samuel was here. Mickey Morandini decided to wear a different uniform than everybody else, but that's okay. Mickey's, of course, in the first base coach's box for the Phillies. So you sat with Mickey signing some autographs today?
Oh, yeah.
How'd that go? Do you guys just pick up the conversation where it last left off or something?
Yeah, we don't reminisce a whole lot. It's just one continuous long conversation with Mickey.
Well, the Phillies have taken the field. That's Clay Buchholz that is warming up out on the mound, making his second appearance. Let's take a look at the Tigers lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Yes, that is Miguel Cabrera batting second. He needed to get one more game in before he left for the World Baseball Classic. James McCann is the everyday catcher. Justin Upton had a solid September last year as the Tigers were trying to stretch themselves toward the postseason. And he is batting cleanup today against Clay Buchholz. So there is Buchholz in his second outing. Most of the starters are going 3 innings now in their second outing of work. Last year he was 8-10 with a 4.78 ERA. Johnny, the one thing that stood out the last time we saw him, man, his ball moves every which way. Yeah, and that's why he walks guys at a high rate, because it's tough to command a lot of those pitches, but the stuff is there. It's never been about Clay Buchholz stuff. It seems like every time I watch him pitch when he was with Boston, when he was struggling, he would cruise through 2 or 3 innings, then have that one inning where he'd give up 4 or 5 runs and then consequently get taken out of the game. But as far as arm, his stuff is still there. So he's ready to go. He'll face Andrew Romine to start things off. Romine last year hit .236 with the Tigers with 2 home runs and 16 runs batted in. And the first pitch of the day is taken low, so we're underway. And starting out, Clay Buchholz is pitching from the stretch. Well, he said that last year in the second half of the season he mechanically needed to simplify things. So Bob McClure said he's just going to take that into this year that way. You wonder, though, if he'll ever go back to the windup if he's that comfortable. I think it depends on how he's pitching. If he's not pitching well, he might want to try something different. Yeah. I think this is what he needed, though. He needed a change of scenery. He needed to get out of Boston. You know, he was back and forth between starting and the bullpen the last couple years. Foul ball, and it's 1-2. Ryan Hannigan is doing the catching today, so he's somewhat familiar with Clay Buchholz since he was in Boston last year. Sometimes that familiarity helps a little bit. Did Ryan catch Clay his first out? He did not. It's the first time we're seeing actually Ryan Hannigan here at Spectrum Field. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Romine. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. Romine has been fairly versatile for the Tigers the last couple of years, being able to play the middle infield positions, but also play a little third base. Low again, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think that's the issue that I see with Clay Buchholz is he doesn't trust his fastball. It's always secondary pitches. He's trying to get outs with the secondary pitches. You know, 2-2. He throws him an off-speed pitch right there. Now it's 3-2. You know he's going to get a fastball here. And there's ball 4. I would think too, with his fastball, the way it moves, it can act like one of those secondary pitches because it's different every single time as it comes to the plate. Yeah, but you know, he has to throw it more to me. I mean that's always been the thing with him is, you know, he can overpower guys with his fastball at times, but he seems like he loves his secondary pitches and he likes to try to trick people. Well, now Miguel Cabrera, look at his career numbers against the Phillies. .337 with 21 home runs, because of all those games he played against the Phillies with the Miami Marlins. Just off the inside corner, 1-0. This guy's an absolute monster. Lifetime average of .325, which among Tigers hitters is 4th best. Be hard to pass Ty Cobb if you're any kind of a hitter.
You'd have to hit 400 a few years.
You would have to hit 400.
A bunch.
I think everybody was surprised when they heard that Cabrera was going to come down from Lakeland.
I was shocked when you told me that this morning, that he, your prototypical second hitter, he's going to try to hit behind the runner, maybe lay down a bunt.
And hit by a pitch. I'm not sure that's what they wanted to do for him in his last game before he goes to the World Baseball Classic. And that puts runners on first and second. And Nick Castellanos is going to be the hitter. And Miguel I don't think he's too pleased by that.
First pitch was up and in. Second pitch hits him. But I can't see there being any intent in spring training. You see Hannigan sitting inside, and we talk about the movement on Clay Buchholz's pitches, and that's why he has trouble sometimes commanding the zone. I mean, he missed with that one by a ton.
Yeah, he did. I think it would have bothered him during the regular season, but I'm sure it bothers him even more in spring training.
Sure, the ball didn't feel too good hitting that body either.
It looks like he's in pretty good shape this year. Here's Castellanos, 2 for 7 so far this spring. He had 18 home runs a season ago and hit .285. Off the end of the bat, they'll get one at first as Buchholz is there to cover. So runners on second and third with one man down. 3-1 on the putout. And that'll bring Justin Upton to the plate.
Well, this gets magnified in spring training in these PFPs. Trust me, as a first baseman, it's a lengthy all-day affair with these pitchers, but executed perfectly.
So that's why you should have never moved from the outfield, John, because then you wouldn't have to worry about all the PFPs.
Yeah, but I'd still had to run a lot.
That is true.
It's not that bad when you just hit grounders right at you. You say get over. Get over and then check the runner. That's about it.
Justin Upton has 3 hits so far this spring. He's 3 for 19. And he takes upstairs. This is a Tigers team that last year had a payroll of $200 million. With all the players that they brought in to try to win not only the American League Central, but also win the pennant. And this may be the last hurrah for this group that they have kept in Detroit for this season offensively. Out to left center field. That ball is mashed. Odubel Herrera going back, and it is gone. A 3-run home run. And Justin Upton has given the Tigers a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first. Second home run of the spring for Upton.
Well, you see Hannigan setting away, down and away, and the ball just leaks back over the center of the plate. Justin Upton, if he's going to get hot and help carry this offense for the Detroit Tigers, that's a pretty good swing right there to
sure is
get going into spring training this early.
Well, the bases are now empty for Steven Moya. Yeah, I don't think there's any question they're going to score runs if these guys do what they are expected to do.
You know, they wanted so badly the last few years to try to win a world championship for their late owner. And, you know, when you talk to the players, that's what their mindset was. We want to win one for him. And sadly, he passed away earlier this year. But, yeah, they are going to score runs. There's no doubt about that. But defensively, how good are they going to be defensively?
Steven Moya last year had .255 for the Tigers with 5 home runs. He's battling for one of those extra outfield spots upstairs, 2-1. And Mike Ilitch passed away this past offseason, as John said. He won Stanley Cups with the Red Wings, but everybody that knew him said that his goal was to win a world championship. That was where his heart really was. And the Tigers were close, but were unable to do it. Out to left field. Howie Kendrick on the run. Diving grab. Two outs.
Another pitch at mislocation. Moya with that inside-out swing, but Howie Kendrick, second baseman his whole career. Last couple years, he's moved out the outfield periodically. When you watch it, he got a really, really good jump on there and took a direct route to the ball.
How much does his athleticism help that he can play the outfield?
Well, he wouldn't be out there if it wasn't, but they'd have kept him at second base, I'm sure. But he is very athletic, and that was the conversation he had coming in to Philadelphia with Pete Mackanin, was where am I going to play?
Right.
And right now he's going to play left field.
James McCann takes one a little low, 1-0. McCann took over the everyday catching duties from the Tigers over the last couple of years. He's backed up by the guy he replaced, who was back with Detroit. One ball and no strikes to McCann. Another gorgeous day here in Clearwater. 75 degrees, mostly sunny.
Breezy.
A little breeze.
A little inconvenient breeze going. Let's complain.
It didn't seem to bother Justin Upton on his swing.
Parked back there again, too. I'm glad that one hit the...
I was thinking about that as it was venturing out toward the berm.
Probably about right in that direction.
22. McCann thought that was off the plate. Marty Foster behind the plate today. Dan Iasonia had the plate yesterday. He's listed at first base. James Hoy at second, and John Bostwick is around at third. Some of these younger umpires are going to get a chance to be in the big leagues this year because of the 4 retirements. As Buchholz throws a slow curve and picks up a strikeout. However, the Tigers jump out to a 3-0 lead thanks to a bomb by Justin Upton. Normally, it's the manager that gets the choice as to where he's going to go if it's a split squad. But today's Alumni Day, so Larry Boa stayed here. Pete said, well, I played for the Phillies also. And Larry Boa said, yeah, but I played a lot longer. So he's the manager today. Let's take a look at his lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. You got Galvis leading it off. Scott Kingery getting another chance to start today playing second base. So Dubal Herrera batting third and hitting and playing in center field. As you go through the lineup, you see Hoskins there, Blanco's playing third, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching, and they'll be opposed by left-hander Daniel Norris, who is part of the plans for the Tigers starting rotation. He'll face Freddie Galvis as we begin the bottom of the first. Galvis 2 for 13 so far this spring. No balls and 1 strike.
See Norris, he's going to the kind of like a modified windup a lot of guys are doing now, where he looks like he's pitching from the stretch, and then he'll bring his right leg back just a little bit and get it and go.
Boy, it just seems like there's just even so much to that to get him going.
Yeah, he's still 93, 94, and that's, you know, that's what this kid showed this team last year when they brought him up. Nice curveball, slider, changeup, and a great competitor, according to Brad Osmus.
0-2 pitch coming to Galvis. Over toward third. Castellanos. One away. So a quick out here in the bottom of the first, and that brings Scott Kingery to the plate. No idea when Scott Kingery is going to arrive in the big leagues, but the fact that he's 6 for 12 in spring training means that he's leaving an impact in the minds of the folks that are watching him.
And you have to think that if Hernandez didn't hit in the 290s last year, that, you know, this would be an open competition. But I know Larry Bowe and Mickey Morandini rave about this kid, and the compliment they give him is he's a ball player.
Yeah, I thought his answer the other day when we interviewed him after the ball game about hustling with every play as he hits that one sharply toward the middle. It kicked up and hit Machado in the chest. He kind of has the same mindset as Utley used to, where he said, I'm going to run everything out, because if I can put pressure on that infielder, because if he bobbles it like that, he goes, I may force him to make a bad throw.
I mean, that's kind of the way you're supposed to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only 90 feet. And look at him. As soon as that ball leaves the bat, he's on his horse. He's running hard in case the ball gets past the second baseman, Machado.
Well, 2 ground outs. And here is Odubel Herrera.
If you're that tired you have to jog 90 feet, shouldn't you get the day off?
You may get more than one day off.
Well, that game and another one, more than likely. I mean, Bo's a big fan of that. He's a big fan of guys jogging to first.
Odubel 4 for 11 so far this spring. 0-2. It's 94, and it's pretty crisp right now for Daniel Norris.
I think he's got the Hunter Pence pants on with the above the knee.
Slowly to second base. Machado is up with it, and Herrera's retired. 3 ground outs and a quick bottom of the first. On to the second. Mike Schmidt's ready to join us.
Dear fellow.
Tigers on top thanks to a home run by Justin Upton in the top of the first inning. Well, before the ball game, Mike Schmidt got a chance to throw out the first pitch. Now, not from the lip of the mound. He's got a spot that he's comfortable with, and it is about 5 feet from home plate. Poor Pedro Feliz, he didn't know what he was going to get himself into. How'd your arm feel after you threw that pitch?
No, that was fine. My arm felt awful this morning when I tried to play catch with somebody trying to prepare for that pitch.
It's good, Mike. You know your limitations. You know exactly where you need to be.
I hit a wall physically recently. Hey, man, nice to be between you two old pros.
Great to have you here.
Plan on you guys carrying this thing this summer.
We're going to carry it.
I was just sit listen to you.
Here's Mikey Matuk over from the Tampa Bay Rays. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So you've been in camp the last couple of days. You enjoy being around these guys?
Sure do. I don't know what it is. I get such a good feeling when you get in a nice conversation with a young man that you are meeting for the first time, and they look you in the eye and very respectful. Want to pick your brain a little bit. That's nice. I don't know, Johnny. It kind of makes you feel young again and be around it. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it for 5 weeks.
Again, you know your limitations.
That's right. I like it for a couple of weekends this year, anyway.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Matuk. Over to third, Andres Blanco, and 1 away. Well, I'm sure that they're excited to have you here too. I mean, you get a chance to reconvene with Larry Boa and guys like that, so that's always fun.
Oh, reconvening with Larry Boa is a blast, right, Johnny?
It's the greatest moment in your life whenever you can.
He looks great for 70, by the way. I'm telling you now. You know that doesn't do him justice, that picture right there. But
it does look good.
He looks fantastic for 70.
You know, when all you guys were announced you're on the line, he still had the prancing back and forth like, you know, I'm getting ready to play.
He can still jog. He still has a lot of the same mannerisms he had back in the day, and especially within the confines of the coach's locker room. He pretty much holds court in there. He pretty much runs the show in the locker room, and it's wonderful to have a guy like that. If we didn't have him, it'd be like silence in there.
Oh man.
Brett Pill is the batter, and the count is 0-1 to him. Check swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, I walked in because we were getting a team photo today.
Right.
And I was mentioning to you which room we were in, and he had his papers out, and he was writing notes, and he was ready to go.
He probably got on you a little bit, right, when you walked in about something?
Well, no, I interrupted him, so he just looked up and then looked back down because he was, you know.
Oh, I thought he said, "Nice iron job on that shirt."
He may have said it because everybody else did too. That ball's hit well out to left field, and it is gone. Solo home run for Brett Pill. That's his 2nd hit of the spring. Buchholz has given up 2 homers now in the first 2 innings, and it's 4-0. Tigers on top.
Johnny, you might have been paying attention. We were laughing over here about something.
I was laughing with you. I didn't see what the pitch was.
Well, let's watch it.
But I'm probably sure it wasn't a good one if it went that far.
I don't think it was a good one.
Again, it's a down and away. He got it down and away, but Pill just went out there, and that's a great piece of hit.
It is. That wasn't exactly a bad pitch.
Look how big he is, though.
Apparently the wind shifted around it a little bit today. It's not so much straight in. It's coming from kind of the right field to corner to left field. So that's why we're seeing some balls go out pretty good in left field.
As a hitter, you like that. As a pitcher, you're sitting there thinking, oh, man, I'm in trouble.
Well, the left-handers you can challenge a little bit more than the right-handers.
Here's Dixon Machado, who played just 10 at-bats last year with the Tigers. He's had himself a decent spring, though. 5 of 16 with 3 runs scored. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Into the dirt, 1-2.
I live up in in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, so we see a lot of the Red Sox games, and I've watched Buchholz pitch a few times. And it's kind of a great stuff. Long game, a lot of pitches, pitching from behind. It's kind of been the MO.
Well, you know he's got great stuff. I mean, he threw the no-hitter in his 2nd major league game, so he has to have stuff to be able to do that.
But you know, you still have to have confidence in the fastball. You still, I mean, I think to have success in the major leagues, there's not many guys that don't believe in their fastball. You know, when they have to go to it, and you do. In his case, a lot of times during a game. We saw in the first inning, Johnny, the 2-2 pitch was a second hitter or leadoff hitter who throws a curveball in the dirt in a 2-2 count with the wind blowing in.
Yeah, and a guy that is not known for his bat at all, and Andrew Romine, you know, you would think, okay, let's challenge him away. If he can hit it out away, then so be it. But bounce it, walk him, and you know, you walk someone in front of Miguel Cabrera, even though he got hit by a pitch, it sets up a big inning.
But you know probably better than I, that's kind of the old American League mentality, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares if I go 3-2? I want to try to get him to chase something here. 2-2.
I never understood that, but then when I played briefly in the American League, it was true. And they would hook you to death.
Andrew Romine takes low. Romine was the guy who was walked in the first inning. Well, plus you've done, you know, so many Yankee Red Sox games over the years. I mean, you saw it probably even clearly there.
Yeah, you know, you watch him and it gets frustrating sometimes as Buchholz, because, like you said, he'll go out and just be dominant, and then all of a sudden it's, you know, change up, curveball, get behind, make a bad pitch, give up a home run, and you're like, I don't understand it.
There was a good fastball in a good spot on his hands at 89. I think that's the hardest fastball he's thrown today.
Rick Kranitz is acting as the pitching coach today. Bob is with Pete McCannon as part of the split squad in Sarasota. Just missed. 2-1.
All that being said, when I saw that we got him in the offseason, I was pretty psyched about that. I thought he'd be a great addition, experience-wise, to our pitching staff.
I mean, he's pitched in World Series games.
Absolutely.
He's got that postseason experience that, you know, along with Hellickson, a lot of these guys don't have.
Out to right center field. And that'll drop in front of Saunders. So Romine's aboard for the second time. And that gives Miguel Cabrera a chance to bat here in the second inning.
I don't know if he got all that ball and kind of got in on his hands, but it was a line drive. Wind blowing in kind of pushes it to the ground.
Well, now Cabrera, we mentioned some of his numbers during his career. Lifetime, last year he was 4th in batting average and 3rd in OPS. I mean, considering, you know, he's not a young gun anymore, he still just keeps on hitting. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
You look at the center field shot of Cabrera hitting, Johnny. I'm amazed at how close he stands to the plate for as big as he is.
And can still get to the inside pitch at, you know, how old you say he was? Mid-30s?
He's 35 years old.
That's pretty mid, isn't it?
It is rich. Right smack dab in the middle. No balls and 1 strike to Cabrera. Try to check his swing. Did he go? No.
If you're a pitcher standing there looking at that with the best hitter, maybe arguably the best hitter in the game right now, especially right-handed, standing that close to the plate, it's hard to shoot for that outside corner, isn't it?
well, plus he can hit home runs down the right field line. Like his batting practice when we used to do games, he would, his last round, he'd try to hit one to right center, left.
Out to left field. Howie Kendrick going back on the track and is there. Makes the catch. Fortunately, he just missed that on the bat, but a home run by Brett Pill has given the Tigers a 4-0 lead. Players a whole lot of lessons during the course of their career. We want to remind you that Tomboy, presented by Geico, focuses on the obstacles women face in sports, both on and off the field. Log on to csnphilly.com/Tomboy for some more inspiring stories. Howie Kendrick will lead things off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kendrick. 255 last year with 8 home runs. 2 for 14 so far in this spring.
This guy's a great fit for the Phillies. I thought that was a fantastic find, Matt Klentak.
With a ground ball out for Daniel Norris, so 4 up, 4 down.
Awesome leadership qualities. I've known him for 3 days, and I'm already really good friends with him. And sat in the dugout and talk a lot. And he comes right up to me, initiates conversation. He's got a wonderful attitude. He's funny.
We saw him with you the other day when you were doing tag plays. Was that what you were working on with those guys?
Well, that was a pet peeve of mine when I watch a team all year. John, you know how that goes. There's a lot of guys that the little old things that we used to come to the big leagues and know about, like tagging and straddling the bag before tag rather than taking the throw from up in front of the bag. There's a lot of that nowadays with middle infielders take throws in front of the bag rather than straddling the bag. So we had a little session about tagging. But believe it or not, they gave me some reasons why they take it in front of the bag.
Oh, interesting. So what did they say? What were their reasons?
Well, one is that you can follow, you can follow the slider, head first slider, as he comes off the bag better. In other words, if that makes sense.
It's not supposed to happen all that often, though.
Because a lot of times guys slide through the bag and try to catch it with their feet.
This will be the 5th ground out already. So 2 outs. Time now for our Toyota report. Let's welcome in Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Well, a lot of talk about Miguel Cabrera, the fans here at Spectrum Field, getting a real treat. A chance to watch him on the road during spring training. Doesn't happen that often. But as you mentioned, Tom, wanting to get one final game in before he heads out to the World Baseball Classic. But you talk about one of the all-time best, and he really is. You can say that at this point, even though he's still playing. Look at the lifetime numbers. Our Toyota report, 321 lifetime batting average, 446 home runs and counting, over 1,500 RBIs. Of course, a 2-time MVP and a Triple Crown winner in 2012. So you don't get a chance very often in spring training to see these guys get on the road. Folks here in Spectrum Field, even if he's just hitting today, getting a real treat. And, if you're a baseball fan, you can't help but respect what this guy has done over the course of his career. And, John, you were telling a story earlier today in the office. Very early on, folks knew, people who know baseball, folks knew that this guy was going to be something special.
Yeah, Ozzie Guillen was the third base coach when Miguel came up with the Florida Marlins as a 19-year-old. And I went down and saw Ozzie, and I said, how's this guy going to be? He said, mark my words, he's going to be the greatest right-handed hitter that's ever played this game.
Wow.
And that's at 19 years old. And he's on his way.
He's kind of redefined himself a number of different times during his career as well. But he is on his way. He's probably going to play, well, he's going to probably be the DH for most of today's game, and then he's off to the World Baseball Classic.
Now, where does Venezuela go? Do we know?
Venezuela, I believe, begins in. I believe he begins in. They begin in Florida. It's 3 balls and no strikes. I mentioned redefined himself because he began his career as a third baseman, then went to the outfield, then moved to first base.
Kind of followed Schmidt. He started as a shortstop in the minor leagues, and then moved to third when he got to the big leagues.
There's a strike, 3-1. And I don't know if anybody anticipated that he would be the consistent power hitter that he became. I know they thought he would hit home runs, but maybe not at the numbers he's hit on the season average.
Do you remember that World Series? I think it was 2003, I think.
Yankees against the Yankees.
When Clemens threw one up and in at his head, and the next pitch he hit a home run as a 19-year-old. Pretty impressive stuff.
Pretty impressive.
Well, he's smart. I'm assuming he is smart, and I know he is. I mean, that's one ingredient it's hard to teach. And I'm sure over time he's become what he is because he knows what to look for. He knows how to set up pitchers. He studies the game. One time in this World Baseball Classic, he came down to me, and we were at the Marlins Stadium, where they used to play back in the day, and he actually came down to the batting cage to look for me. He said, Never met him before, and I was very flattered that Miguel Cabrera would walk down and look for me, and he asked me a couple of hitting questions, and we became friends at that point too. So he wants to, pick brains when he was a young kid in 2004.
Yeah, just for everybody who was going to start following Venezuela to Miami, they don't go there. They begin in Mexico. That's where they start in the World Baseball Classic.
Well, we got a special one at the plate right now, John.
Rhys Hoskins.
Well, we did the game, the first home game, and he hit that one to right center, and then he came up in the bottom of the ninth and hit a double down the left field line. Got some thunder in that bat, doesn't he?
Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike to Hoskins.
What you want to watch with this young man is, excuse me, is his presence at the plate. Much like Cousins, both of them are way ahead of the schedule in terms of what we call presence at the plate, how they handle themselves in the batter's box. There's not a lot of playing around with batting gloves, and there's not a lot of fidgety, and and there's not a lot of check swings, and they're both just like floating on a cloud when they're in the batter's box, nice and relaxed. Keep their hands back. We may see Cousins today before the game's over.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Matt Stairs has talked about the quietness of Hoskins, who last year, when he was the Eastern League's Rookie of the Year, led the league in OPS, but finished second to Dylan Cousins in home runs and RBIs.
See those numbers right there on the screen. Wouldn't you hate to have to go back to the minor leagues after a year like that?
I mean, if there's ever someone that says, well, what do I got to do? I mean,
I've been impressed with the way he's played first base too. I mean, I know we look at his power numbers. That's something that will be a big boost when he eventually gets up. But he's moved very well around the first base bag. Swing and a miss. Pretty good pitch from Norris to pick up his first strikeout. The Phillies get their first base runner with a 2-out walk. We've completed 2. On to the 3rd here at Spectrum Field. Field earlier today, we had our broadcaster team photo taken, not only with the radio guys, but also our separate one with all of us guys. Schmidt, you've been part of this before. Crucker, it's been a while since you were part of a broadcaster team photo for the Phillies. Larry Anderson hasn't missed a beat, has he?
No, you can't even comment really on Larry. Just something better left unsaid.
Well, I will say that the fans had requested a lighter shirt for us to wear this year because they like to get autographs with the team photo. So we were able to find the light blue shirt that everybody was wearing today. A lot of fun.
Like the old 80s unis, aren't they?
Yeah, we're throwing it back a little bit.
Maroon, the maroon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The baby blues. There's Castellanos to start the 3rd, and it's 1 ball, no strike.
Baby blues were one thing. How did you like the zipper?
Zipper up the front. Well, at the time we kind of liked it. We'd have to button it up, but not like the old. Now that I'm older and wiser, Like the traditional buttons.
The zipper kind of set it aside when you guys were wearing that. Castellanos first time up hit a cue shot up the first base line. So he grounded out. He's 0 for 1.
You know, Larry Anderson's the guy that gave me that wig to wear.
Somebody asked me that the other day because there's a photo of Larry wearing the wig somewhere else, and they said, "Is that the wig that Schmidt wore?" And Larry's like, "Yeah, that's the same wig."
Well, someone asked me when we were out there signing autographs if you were going to wear a wig today, and I'd seen the pictures.
Yeah.
We've all seen them. I mean, if you play in Philadelphia, you have to have seen that one. But
Fly ball shallow center field. Odubel Herrera out there. 1 away. Let's check in with Greg Murphy, who's with Vince Velasquez.
I am indeed, and Vince is going to throw a couple innings tomorrow, even though it's a scheduled off day for the team. But to keep yourself on schedule, it's good to see you. And you know, you think back 365 days last year. This time, you were out here winning a spot in the rotation. How have things changed for you in the last year? Now that you know you come to camp with a pretty good shot at being in that rotation.
Like you said, it's going to be a long season again, but you know, I know what's ahead, and I know how to prepare myself. But you know, this is a start. This is the beginning of, you know, another successful year, and nothing but, you know, being pure optimism here.
Yeah, how much did you learn? Were you able to learn, you know, going through what you did last year? 8 wins in your first full full season in the major league. So what did you learn as a starter?
As a starter, I mean, it was kind of hard, you know, dealing with Morton's injury. You know, him being the veteran on the team, you know, we couldn't really utilize him as much as we wanted to. It was unfortunate. But, you know, a lot of the starters that we had, we pretty much picked ourselves up. We picked each other up, actually, watching each other's performances. The next day, we all sit next to each other. We're pretty much communicating on a regular basis, the ins and outs of, you know, what we did wrong, what we didn't do, just to help each other out. That's what's considered a team. And now that we have, you know, Buchholz and then Hellickson's coming back, I think it's going to be a useful source to utilize, and you know, to see how our approach changes. I guess now in spring training, but then also just how we approach it in the regular season.
You mentioned it's a long season. You know that now, but you got a chance to enjoy the off season. Did you enjoy the off season? Anything fun happening?
Yeah, just took a trip to Cancun and try to have some layback time and try to catch some rays, and then just enjoy the wonderful Cancun resort.
All right, now it's back to work. Vince, we always appreciate your time.
Pleasure, thank you.
Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. Vince Velasquez, who last year was somewhat electric early on in the year with a 16 strikeout performance. Sometimes we forget that was really his first full season as a starting pitcher, and there's somewhat of a learning curve for players when they're playing their first full year. Sort of maintaining that power arm as the year went on. 1 ball, 1 strike to Steven Moya. 1-2.
Vince, an exciting guy to watch when he starts a game. I enjoy broadcasting those games on the weekends when he's on the mound. Electric's a good description.
I think the 16 strikeout day, and I think everybody was hoping for that every single time he went out. Yeah. Something like that every single time he went out. Swing and a miss. Moya is down on strikes, and that was the best of the 3 innings for Clay Buchholz. 1-2-3 go the Tigers on to the bottom of the 3rd here at Spectrum Fields. Baseball is brought to you by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy rights. There's Ben Rivera signing some autographs. I thought he was big when he was a player, but I stood next to him today in the lunchroom, and I don't think I remembered how big he was.
Big man. I'm sitting with him and Mickey. Robert Person there, but Mickey is right-handed, Wright's left-handed. Ben is right-handed, Wright's left-handed, and I'm left-handed and right-handed. I mean, you talking about confused, because so many people came up and they go, I thought you were a right-hand pitcher, Ben. Oh yeah, I am. And he's right with his left hand, and people are like looking at him like, oh, is this really Ben Rivera?
Here's Andres Blanco to lead things off. Some of those other pictures that you saw, I mean, as Johnny said, you saw Robert Person, but also Dickie Knowles signing some autographs. Shane Rawley was here today.
Yes, he was. Shane. Bill Naharodny.
Was that who that was? I didn't know who that was.
And David Cash.
Blanco went around on that. 1 ball, 1 strike.
AC.
AC. That's right. That's what
always cool.
He is too, isn't he?
Blanco so far 1 for 9 in spring training games. 2 balls and 1 strike. Down the right field line, that's foul. And it's 2-2. Mike, were you happy when you saw the Phillies had re-signed Andres Blanco for this year?
Oh yes, big fan. I want to say he's kind of the sage, if you will, of the Latin contingent in the locker room. They very much look up to him. He's very positive all the time, and there's a guy that can play all 3 infield positions. Good hitter. I mean, he hit 290 one year, I think, when he got over 200 at bats, 300 at bats a couple years ago, I think. And very valuable player on the team. You know, one thing that we're going to be way better this year is our athletes, good hitters coming off the bench at the end of the game. You know, you have John, and I tell you what, until you manage, you don't know how important it is to have good players on the bench,
especially in the National League. You know, and with the young pitching staff who aren't going to go 7-8 innings.
Another ground ball. Machado throws out Andres Blanco. McDonald's opening night T-shirt is free for fans 15 and older, and all fans of that age coming on the Saturday, April 8th game against the Washington Nationals can pick it up. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. You should take a peek at that T-shirt.
Some of the new faces, we were just talking about Blanco coming off the bench, and call them utility players. Daniel Nava, I've seen him throw a couple of real good at-bats out there since I've been here. And Chris Coughlin, a nice double in was it yesterday's game?
Yeah, the 6-run inning that the Phillies had.
Right. Stassi, Brock Stassi is having a great spring.
Hannigan hits that one right through the hole, so that's the first hit of the day for the Phillies. They won out single here in the 3rd. Yeah, Matt Klentak told us with some of those players, some of the younger players like Stassi and even Andrew Knapp, it may be time to just throw them out there and see what they can do in that kind of a role of being a bench player.
It's the Andrew Knapp thing is tough because he is a solid player and a really good hitter, switch hitter. I'd love to see him in the big leagues, but I want to see him play every day.
Yeah. There's Freddie Galvis, who grounded out his first time up.
I didn't mention Tyler Goodell. Who else am I leaving out, Tommy?
Well, Tyler, you mentioned Coughlin and Nava as the veteran guys that they brought in. Stassi, we talked about Knapp. I think that's pretty much it that they're looking at to be sort of that extra man, the guy that could play first base a little bit, maybe play the outfield. They put Stassi in the outfield yesterday to see what he could do, and he made a couple plays. Down the right field line, out of play. Yeah, the other thought is keeping 3 catchers as well, which one of those guys like Knapp would be would be a guy that could play first and play behind the plate.
Yeah, if he pinch hit in the 7th or 8th, there's a place where you could put him.
It gives you that luxury too, if you have 3 catchers, to pinch run for your catcher.
Right.
Late in the game.
Yeah, the thought is that maybe if they keep 3, that Hannigan and Brian Holiday could be the backup per se, and then Knapp could be the 3rd catcher, used as a bat or as an extra man playing 3rd or playing first and catching. Freddie Galvis down on strikes, 2 away.
Looks like Norris has a pretty good changeup. Yeah, a little arm speed, ball just bottom drops out of it. It's like a fastball and it's not there. Been there, done that, John.
It's the one that gives you nightmares, isn't it?
The crafty little left-handers.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's crafty at 94, though.
Right.
Kingery takes a low. Think about some of these players that the Tigers have picked up. You know, they trade David Price, and they send Cespedes to the Mets, and they get Fulmer, who's the Rookie of the Year, on the mound, and they get Daniel Norris from the Blue Jays in the David Price trade.
Boy.
Upstairs, 2-0. Now, they probably would still love to have David Price and Cespedes, but sometimes you have to replenish.
Didn't you guys early in the year have a little discussion about the Matt Stairs, you know, an old friend of ours?
Yeah.
The Phillies hitting coach now. And one of the things he came to the team with was an attitude of not giving away at bats. Remember that?
Yes.
Well, this young man here, he's got the Pete Rose mentality. Kingery. That's the only way I can describe him. This young man here never gives an at bat away. Never.
Back to the screen, and it remains, or it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He was at bat a couple days ago when he hit the home run after fouling one off down the left field line, shooting one to the right field line, fouling a couple back, boom, home run. 10 pitch at bat.
I always wonder when I see somebody like this, you know, how far away is he? You know, how many more at bats is he away? I mean, it's tough to tell. Back toward the middle, off the mound, the shortstop Romine goes the short way. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left for the Phillies. We'll head to the 4th. Sunday, April 9th, it's Cavity Busters Kids Opening Day, and all fans 14 and under will receive the Phillies hooded sweatshirt. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Pleasant day here at Spectrum Field, as it has been this entire spring. A little bit of a breeze going from right to left. It's been shifting as the day has gone on. Phillies have managed 1 hit so far through the first 3 innings. Clay Buchholz is done after 3 innings. That little guy's enjoying himself out on the berm. There's Luis Garcia to take over. Garcia will pitch 1 inning here this afternoon. Those are his numbers from last year. 6.46 ERA. Dominant in the minor leagues and just hasn't really carried over to the big leagues for Garcia. He has continued to show plus velocity this spring. A little trouble with his command, but he will face James McCann to start things off. McCann struck out his first time up. It'll be McCann, Matuk, and Brett Pill against Garcia.
George, he was late getting this.
And 1 ball, no strikes.
96 out of the gate.
I just saw that. Did that look like 96 to you from here?
Not from here.
It's hard to get a 96 out of a low fastball. You know? Maybe it was. No, that one looked harder. 95. John, are you a big pitch speed guy?
If they can command it.
Well, I mean,
if
do you
it's
look at it a lot?
As a hitter, you know, that's the only thing I really wanted to know. If he had how good is his fastball and how does he have a trick pitch? That's all. You had to figure everyone had a breaking ball of some sort and a changeup.
Over the mounds, charging is Galvis. Nice play.
Yeah, I think Freddie, that was a great play because I think Freddie knew that the runner was a right-handed hitter. Not getting down the line that fast. Good sense of, you call it good baseball sense, right? As an infielder.
Great clock. Buck Showalter calls it a great clock.
Yeah, he fielded with his glove, even though time where, you know, a lot of guys might have stuck their bare hand out there and missed it.
Took that awkward bounce at the end. He was able to track it. So here's Matuk, who grounded out his first time up. Hit one off the end of the bat toward Andres Blanco.
I've often wondered, you know, I've mentioned this in broadcast last year, was difference in, say, 90 and 94. All right. Fastball pitch speeds. How far does the ball travel in those 4 miles an hour?
You're asking me.
Don't be looking at me like that.
I look for you for the answer. You're the Hall of Famer.
Well,
that's just a scrap hanger trying to keep going.
There's got to be somebody somewhere that knows the answer to that question. Because isn't that the key? You know, the speed goes up. How much less time do I have to decide? I don't have much anyway.
Well, I wonder, you know, when you sit there, and you guys know better than anybody, as that ball's hit sharply to shortstop. I mean, Galvis able to throw him out. I mean, it's a question. It's a good question. You know, how much sooner does 94 get on you than 90 gets on you, or 97 gets on you than 90 gets on you?
Well, what's the number where I have to really look fastball
right.
and get her going, man, get ready to go, because it's so hard? And what's the number where, you know, I can kind of look for the ball and still hit it?
Well, that's it. I mean, if let's say somebody throws 88, 89, 90. I mean, does that worry you, or
no?
Is there? So a 5 mile an hour difference it makes you worry more.
That's now you're talking Nolan Ryan stuff now. You know, where you're looking fastball every pitch, and if he breaks one off around your coconut, you duck, right?
Well, I had the luxury of being left-handed against him. So.
Oh well, let's talk a little Randy Johnson, brother.
Gosh,
didn't take long for that to come up, did it?
No, thank you for that.
What a note to Brett Pill, who homered his last time up.
That wasn't no fun. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but made history.
Sadly, it did.
Sadly, it did. Brett Pill signed as a free agent from the San Francisco Giants organization. That breaking ball.
That had to be nasty, though. It was 6'10". That's one thing that makes it nasty. It looks like he's handing the ball to the catcher.
And he throws like from behind you.
Right, exactly.
I never saw I don't know
for your life, right?
Why, especially in a, you know, the game's not a, you know, the game means something, but it didn't back then.
And he threw the first one like sailed it up over your head right off the backside.
Yeah, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, he was buying into the whole thing.
I said, this is my 8th year in the big leagues, and the only chance I've ever had of possibly getting in the postseason. He ain't going to ruin it.
Well, you know, the other day, I can't remember what the kid's name was that pitched. He's 6'10". He's a right-hander, and he threw 96 miles an hour, right-hander. And he struck out one of the younger players, and I asked him after the game, I said, how hard did that look? He said, I didn't even see it, because, you know, he commanded it, and it jumped on you so fast at 6'10". In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I was over here a couple weeks ago watching some of the minor league kids throw, and they have a 6'10" kid over there. The Phillies do. But he doesn't throw. He throws like low 90s. But they said that his deception, it makes it feel like it's 95.
I think that's like Chris Young, you know, the pitcher for the Royals.
89 elevated.
Right.
No one can hit it.
That ball was smoked.
We only had one or two guys that were exceptionally tall back when I played. I don't remember that. Everybody.
JR?
Well, he was one of them, yeah. But I mean, watch these games now. I'm sitting down there the last couple of days, and every guy that comes in looks like he's 6'6".
Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider. Well, this is a much better outing for Luis Garcia today than it was the last time out. Much better command of the fastball and an awful lot of breaking pitches as well as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Celebrating Alumni Day here at Spectrum Field. Juan Samuel, always a fan favorite, signing some autographs before the start of the ball game. There's Lee Elia. By the time that lady was done, there was so many signatures on that shirt. Lee sitting at the same table with Sammy and with Dickie Knowles. Nice to see some of these guys. Some of them we haven't seen in a few years. That young guy probably doesn't remember who Lee Elia is. Go to Google for that one.
He's so young he might not remember who Chase Utley and Ryan Howard are.
Here's Mark Lowe, the veteran right-hander, the new pitcher for the Tigers. Pitched in 54 games last year for Detroit. He's been around. He's pitched for a number of different teams, including the Blue Jays, facing Odubel Herrera. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Another guy pitching from the stretch. Must be stretch day here.
Well, he's a reliever through and through. Mark Lowe is.
Yeah, he is. I don't think he's ever made a major league start. Last year, as we mentioned, 54 games. He got hit around a little bit. They still expect him to be part of their bullpen. In 2015, he had 57 games. He had an ERA of 1.96 that year. Tell you what, these Tigers infielders, they're getting a little bit of a workout today. We haven't had one fly ball.
No disrespect, but Odubel just gave away an at bat.
Think so?
Well, breaking ball in the dirt. He swung at first pitch, and then a changeup down and away that he swung at the second pitch and hits it off the end of the bat. I mean, I don't know the qualifications for a quality at bat, but I'm pretty certain that wasn't one of them.
No, that was not.
Especially if we add in there that we're down 4 and he's leading off the inning.
Howie Kendrick rounded out his first time up.
I think that brings back the Howie Kendrick move. Like, Howie's aware of that situation. That's something you would hope that a veteran player would go talk to him and say, you know, what were you thinking there in that at bat?
Yeah, because this is the regular season. You got to get some runs here, and he's leading off the inning. He's the kind of guy that can lead off the inning with some dynamite.
We'd like to think that, yeah, this is only spring training, and guys are, you know, not sort of like in the got to win the game mindset to do the right thing in the game. But sometimes what you do down here, you'll do up there during the season.
And you know, he had an unbelievable first half of the season and struggled down the stretch. You know, are these struggles that lasted about it are part of what his struggles were last year, is free swinging and not getting good pitches to hit.
Swing and a miss. Kendrick strikes out. 2 away. 3 strikeouts for Tigers pitching. I wonder too, you know, with a guy like Odubel, as you see this pitch to Kendrick, pretty late movement on it. He's leaving for the World Baseball Classic, and they may not see him for
Odubel?
Yeah, for, you know, a week or 2. So you hope that you're sort of giving him off to his country to play, and you hope that he comes back ready to start the season. So, yeah, an awful lot invested in him.
Tell you what, that'd be a tough decision. Just, you know, if you were a player and you were asked to play,
yeah.
I don't know what my answer would have been. Well, first of all, he wouldn't ask. I couldn't hit in the spring. That was out. But I mean, I know if I was a coach or a manager or front office, I wouldn't want any of my players to go.
I wonder if you would do it one time just to get the experience of it. I don't know if it would be worth it or not, but I wonder if you would do it one time. And you coached it.
Yes, I did. John, I don't know what I'd say either, because I'm kind of stuck in my preseason routine, and I like, you know, to kind of peak at a certain time in spring training. And I don't know whether I'm mentally ready to get to the grind of it really meaning something. Games. You know what I mean? If you're representing your country, and these are real at bats in this World Baseball Classic. Everything's real. I like to think everything's real here too, but they take you out of the game sometimes after a couple of at bats, and you can do your running, or you can go to hit extra, and there's a lot of things you can do that you can't do if you're in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, Freddie decided that he didn't want to go after playing winter ball, and then coming to spring training, he said, you know what, I just got to get myself ready for the start of the season.
Quick, a different subject. Quick, Michael Saunders here. We didn't get a chance to say anything about him, but what a great young man he is.
Yeah, you've enjoyed being around him?
Just what we needed, you know, for the middle of the batting order. Big left-handed hitter that's got 20 to 30 home run potential. Play every day.
Andres Blanco sitting next to Luis Garcia. I know that, you know, a lot of the players, they love being around Luis, and they realize how much he has struggled. And here's Andres doing a little chatting. The ball is just fouled on the first base line.
Back to the World Baseball Classic. You know, it looks like this year there's a lot more what you would call upper level, call them stars, but a lot of big name players seem to be gone this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Miguel's going to leave after this game. In fact, all the Tigers players that are representing their team are going to leave after this game.
I don't know, other than guys getting together and say, hey, are you going? Yeah, I'm going. Let's go. Why don't you go? Come on, let's go. Get around the league.
A high fly ball to deep right field. Moya going back. It is gone.
There's that 25 to 30 home run power.
Yep, first one of the spring.
That was through the wind, too.
Michael Saunders has put the Phillies on the board. It's now a 4-1 ball game.
Little cutter, like a little cutter that got into that lefty's happy area right there,
that's
down
a nice
in
area.
That's just, I don't think people realize how big he is till you actually stand beside him. He's a big man, but you're right though, Mike. This is exactly what the Phillies need. A middle of the lineup bat, consistent, you know, can give you that 25-30 homer power.
Hit behind Franco. Daniel Nava's a professional hitter too.
He showed highlights the other day of his first major league at bat, and it came against the Phillies where he hit the grand slam on the first pitch against Joe Blanton.
All downhill from there, isn't it?
All downhill from there.
Hartley hit a grand slam too, didn't he? His first at bat. It's like birdie in the first hole, John.
Hole in one. First hole. Why play anymore?
Might as well just go to the clubhouse after that.
Take
just
it
wait
in.
for everybody. The balls and 2 strikes to Nava. The thing about Nava that makes him, you know, so good if he makes this club is he's a switch hitter. I mean, that can help in a lot of ways. He can play all 3 of the outfield positions. Maybe not as much center anymore, but he can get there if he needs to.
He's also seen a lot of these pitchers, and he knows what big at bats. He's been in the He's been in the batter's box. Pressure on him in big series, big games before.
He'll take a spot over at first, and that'll bring Rhys Hoskins to the plate.
Well, you know, he gets in there pretty close to the plate too. That ball ran back a little, but so you wanted to be a baseball player.
Well, you know, when you coach younger kids, the first time they come out, whether it be boys or girls, will the ball hurt if it hits me? And parents, oh no, it doesn't really hurt that. It does. And I tell all the kids, yes, it's going to hurt. Make a decision now if you want to play or not. If not, we're just wasting time. It's going to hurt though. I've never gotten hit in with a baseball that it didn't hurt.
You're coaching softball too, and they're closer, so it's still going to hurt. There's a rocket deep to left field. Forget about that one. Look out. Into the tiki bar. It's a 2-run home run. It got out in a millisecond. And the Phils are within 1. It's a 4-3 ball game.
How can you throw him that fastball after him looking so bad on the slider?
Tricky. He's got to be looking for that slider. I would challenge him right here. I think that went over the tiki bar.
I think it did too. I saw it bouncing around. Oh man, talk about sweet spot.
Yeah, that, you know,
ran back over the middle of the plate.
It did go over the tiki bar. I saw it bouncing around behind it.
See that stroke, John? That's just smooth. I mean, that's
so it's so short. Like
yeah.
it.
A little bit of an uppercut, but still, you know, everything was on balance.
430
nice
feet, by the way.
Is that all?
You got that number already?
Oh yeah. It's whispered into my ear.
Wheels give you that?
No. You can't see that. No balls and 1 strike to Andres Blanco.
Got yourself a ball game here now.
Yep, down the right field line. Blanco.
There he goes.
On his way to second. Moya did get to it, but Blanco's able to slide in safely.
Good time for that too. 2 outs. Good time to take the chance. As soon as it leaves the bat, you're thinking double.
Especially the 8th hitter, American League rules. I'll tell you that with Blanco, he came in when we were in fantasy camp, and He came in and made a point to come in and say hello to all the coaches.
Did he really?
Yeah, the former Phillies, but you know, you watch just the way he runs the bases. Everything he did there was correct. The way he made his turn, the way you know, you don't rely on your coach in that situation because the ball's in front of you.
He's a good dude. I mean, he's been great, you know, from an influential standpoint on the Latin players, but even everybody. Here's Ryan Hannigan, who singled his first time up. No balls and 1 strike to Hannigan.
Now this kid, Hannigan, I know when I don't know him, but just from the short time I've known him, I guarantee he was at the playground every day playing baseball. You know what I'm saying? He's like a baseball rat.
He's been around. This is his 10th year. Or just finished his 10th year in the big leagues. He was a late addition to the Phillies non-roster invitees. Two.
These are kind of at-bats that really test you here. You're 0-2 against a nasty right-hander with a tying run on second base. What's your game plan? Choke up, right?
I hope he makes a mistake.
Choke and poke.
Adam Morgan scheduled to throw 3 innings today for the Phils. He looks like he's next one out of the pen. 2-2. Blanco was halfway between second and third on that ball.
That's one of those when you're on second, you know when it leaves the hand that it's going to bounce. So Blanco got a great secondary lead. If it bounces away from McCann, he can, you know, advance to third base.
And in addition to that, you're in a ballpark here with the wind blowing in where he's going to score you on any ball hit through the infield, and it's tough in small ballparks like this to score on a single. And that's some good peeping by Mr. Hannigan. Taking it from 0-2 to 3-2.
Like a tough one from up here to lay off of. Looked like a changeup that Lowe tried to get to come back in.
That's where when you go out and you're the catcher in the next inning, you go, nice call on that 2-2 pitch.
Okay.
Thanks for that one.
I promise I'll block the next one in the dirt.
Baby.
That's a good at bat right
really
there.
Good.
Keeps it moving and brings Freddie Galvis to the plate. Here's Brad Ausmus. It looks like that's going to be it for Lowe. He's coming out. It looked like he may have just signaled. He does have Artie Lewicki warming up in the bullpen. So Ausmus has already signaled to the pen, so the Tigers will have a pitching change. After the first 2 batters were retired, then the Phils came out swinging. They got a solo home run from Saunders, a 2-run home run from Hoskins. It's a 1-run game here in the 4th. Wednesday, April 12th, when the Phillies take on the New York Mets. All fans 15 and older coming to the ballpark will receive the at Phillies cell phone wallets. Order your tickets now for all of those games against the New York Mets by going to Phillies.com.
Cell phone wallet?
Yeah, so it attaches to the back of your phone, so you no longer have to carry a billfold with you. You can slide all your stuff into the back of that.
So you don't want to leave your phone around, laying around,
You
right?
don't want to leave your phone. Murph has one. Murph, you have one of those cell phone wallets on your phone, don't you?
I do indeed. It's very convenient. I'm telling you guys. You'll switch over once you get the hang of it.
Problem is, we always have to remind Murph that he has his wallet on his cell phone.
Murph, you put your cash in that too?
No, I put my cash in my pocket.
He never has any.
I never have
Oh,
any.
I was just going to say, yeah, he probably has a big wad. I don't know. It won't fit in that foam wallet.
Yeah, lots of ones. I got lots of them.
Yeah, so Johnny, if you got one of those, you just can't lose your phone.
That ain't happening. I thought if you put like credit cards near a phone, it could.
Yeah, like a room key.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have something in it that won't allow it to be demagnetized.
I just thought that was why Murph never contacts me.
Here's Freddie Galvis facing the right-hander for the Tigers with 2 men down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Galvis 0 for 2 so far. Milwaukee is one of about 12 pitchers that the Tigers have brought with them here to Clearwater. I hope that's not a sign of what they're expecting.
So what you're trying to say is if it goes extra innings, they're ready to go.
I think Brad Ausmus may signal over to Larry Bowa and say we can do 3 more. Fortunately, I don't know if Larry will confer with them.
Well, Brad's an Ivy Leaguer, so I'm sure he has contemplated all the situations that could happen today.
He probably has thought about it.
12 or 13 innings. Hopefully wasn't one of them.
First year for Brad Ausmus was 2014. Finished in first place that year. 1-2 to Freddie Galvis. And he fights it off foul.
Like to see that. That's a good 2-strike guard the plate, wait, identify the ball, fight it off sort of pitch. I think there's one thing Freddie needs to bring back to his game is fewer strikeouts this year. Should be one of his goals. Had a great year last year.
Back toward the middle, off the glove of the pitcher, and it rolls out to shortstop, and everybody is safe. Now the Phillies have the bases loaded.
See, that's what contact does for you. Strikeout does nothing. We just change sides, right? You put it in play.
You could almost tell how Freddie took that swing, that he was going to let the ball travel. It looked like he had a little inside-out swing working just to put the ball in play, hard on the ground. And he got rewarded for it.
Right.
And now it leaves the door open for Scott Kingery with the bases loaded and 2 men down. Phillies now have sent 9 men in the plate in this inning.
That's a tough one to take with the bases loaded. That's where old Larry Bowa was over in the dugout, right, going, oh, get him out. When he was your coach or manager.
Oh my gosh.
I could see him.
A little flare out toward right field. And Moya was playing shallow. 9 batters came up, 3 runs for the Phils. Michael, thank you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Tommy, Johnny, look forward to it.
Michael.
Come and see what's happening.
Phillies and the Washington Nationals Friday, April 7th through Sunday, April 9th. And don't forget, on Sunday tonight, Cavity Busters Kids Opening Day. And that hoodie will be given out to all fans 14 and under. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com.
Schmidt, he left us.
He left us.
I tell you, that's one of the things when we are up in August for Alumni Weekend, and when they announce all the alumni, and there's a bunch, he's always last, and they say the greatest player in Phillies history. It's like chilling, like just goosebumps.
And if you ask him about that, he's like, I'm not the greatest player in Phillies history.
Yeah, right. Well, we all know it. So.
Well, here's out of Morgan. Morgan is scheduled to pitch 3 innings today, and he'll face Dixon Machado to start things off. Ground ball foul. Folks have asked me a lot about, Schmidt, about what his schedule is, and I said it's going to be the same this year as we've seen in past years. Each home weekend on Saturday and Sunday, he will join us in the booth, whether it be me, Johnny, or me and Ben. And he enjoys it. I think he just enjoys being around the game.
Yeah. As much as you try to stay away, it just
grabs your back.
Yeah, it just you can never leave it.
I was talking to Scott Air about that today. He said that when he retired, he said he had a little bit of a tough time early on because you're so used to it for so many years of your life in so many forms. And Saunders will take care of Machado. And now Morgan will face Andrew Romine. But he's like you, he's coaching. That's sort of his way. I mean, he's coaching his kids like you are, so it kind of keeps you involved in the game in some level.
I'm just happy that last few years I coached boys.
Out towards second on one hop. You're happy to be out on the softball field?
Well, yeah, because you don't have to wear a uniform.
You got to wear a uniform when you're coaching your boys?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, full uni.
You got to wear pullover, though. You don't have to wear like the jersey.
I wore pullover. I actually wear a T-shirt.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. If you think about high school coaches, they do wear full uniform. Here's Miguel Cabrera. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Now I wear shorts and a golf shirt.
That's better at our age to wear something like that.
The shorts are a push, but too hot down there to wear long pants.
Cabrera out to shortstop. And that 100 hopper is handled by Galvis. Adam Morgan has barely broken a sweat here in the 5th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Tickets are still available, plus season tickets are available at Citizens Bank Park. Choose from full season or 5 unique partial season ticket plans, which offer a few games each month. Go to Phillies.com and check out the discounted ticket pricing, the ticket exchange options, and the pre-sale opportunities. Home half of the 5th inning, 4-3 Tigers on top. Along with John Kruk and Greg Murphy, and we've been joined today by Mike Schmidt. Alex Wilson will take over on the mound for the Tigers. Wilson last year pitched in 62 games and had a 2.96 earned run average. Boy, you have a 2.96 ERA in the American League. That's pretty darn good as a relief pitcher.
Really good. And you know, that's kind of what the Detroit Tigers' Achilles heel has been the last few years, is their bullpen. And you know, this young man stepped in and did a great job for him last year.
Well, he is about to leave to go pitch for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. So this will be his final outing of the spring for the Tigers before he heads out. And he'll face Odubel Herrera, who started the last inning with a ground out, but the Phils wound up scoring 3 runs in the inning. And the first pitch fastball, it's 0-1. For 2 with a couple of ground outs for Odubel. Now 4 for 13 this spring.
Odubel looks like he's learned something from that previous at bat where he just up there free swinging. Took a first pitch fastball, laid off a pitch there. And at least he's seeing pitches now.
Well, this past off season he signed that 5-year contract. I always wondered about that as a player. When you sign that first big deal, I mean, does it relax you a little bit, or does it make you even hungrier?
You'd have to ask someone who signed a big deal.
He golfs it out to right. Moya makes the catch. 1 away. Oh, we mentioned it's Alumni Day here at Spectrum Field, and there's our buddy Scott Air, part of the 2008 World Championship Philadelphia Phillies. Always great to catch up with him, the crafty left-hander. And he's catching up right now with Greg Murphy.
He is indeed, and he just handed his World Series ring to a complete stranger.
I'm looking like I'm
I know. We'll keep our eye on him as we do this interview. It's good to see you. Well, I'm doing great. Welcome back to Clearwater. And you know, we were just talking about it's only about a 45-minute ride from home for you, but always nice to come back and get a chance to be part of the Alumni.
It is. It's like I just told you. It's a nice ego boost because you get out of the game, away from everything, and you're just Coach Scott or Dad. That's it. Now you're back to 08 World Series champion and nice play. Yes. But it's fun to be here. It is.
You mentioned the 08 World Series as we watch your ring getting passed all the way down to here at the Tiki Bar. Those memories are probably still very fresh in your mind. I know you get a chance to reminisce with some of the guys today, but just how special of a time was that for you?
Oh, I've said it 100 times. I'm more lucky than anyone. I got traded here. I mean, from the Cubs before they won, obviously, last year. I mean, so it was still the big drought. But, I was kind of cast out and had struggled a little bit, got here, like I've said, and Doobie and then everyone else around here just picked me up and let me play, let me pitch. And Charlie put me in games, and we won some big games. It was fun.
You certainly did. And in that short time that you were here, became a crowd favorite, too, because of a great personality, an outgoing personality, and which is why it's so fun to have you back out here. And you picked a pretty good seat right here in front of Frenchie's, too.
I'll have to say Debbie Nacito set us up with these. My kids I got 2 of my kids and 2 of my high school kids that I coach here today. And it's just fun to be back out here, and it's a beautiful day. I mean, I don't like the fact that the Tigers had 2 homers to start, but, we're coming back.
They're just coming back little bit by little bit. But you mentioned your 2 sons are here. You're coaching nowadays, so you're not far from the game that you love. How's it been coaching? Did you take anything from what you learned from Charlie?
Oh my gosh, yes. I take a lot of what he said. Have fun, play the game hard. Truthfully, that's. Think about that. Have fun, play the game hard. It's really not that hard to do. We try to teach the kids. Have fun. Scott Sauerbeck is our head coach, and he played for the big leagues for 10 years, the same as I did. So you got 2 lefty pitchers as a head coach and a pitching coach. We can pitch and play some defense. We don't hit so well.
Well, Scott, it is always good to talk to you. Always good to have you here, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. I believe your ring is now down to the third base line, so you're going to have to go chase that. But always good to see you, Scott.
Thank you.
Guys, back upstairs.
Well, that's one of his players right there who has his ring on, so he's going to hold that as a ransom. Michael Saunders crushes another one to right. The wind this time got a hold of it. unlike the last time, and Moya is able to track it down. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. Scott Ayers' ring is safely in a friend's hand. That's what happens when you headbutt somebody. The Fanatic never knew that until he just did it to Steven Moya earlier today. Time for our game summary. We've had some home runs hit today. Justin Upton hit a 3-run bomb in the first inning. Rhys Hoskins hit a 2-run home run in the fourth. That followed a solo shot by Michael Saunders. So now as we go to the top of the sixth inning, the Tigers lead it 4-3. Jason Michaels has been given the honor of shooting the hot dogs today, along with the Fanatic.
Could get dangerous.
Could get very dangerous. They have to gauge the CO2 on that one.
Yeah, I might overcharge that thing.
So we head to the top of the sixth, and it's going to be Castellanos who will lead things off. Castellanos, Justin Upton, Steven Moya, those are the scheduled hitters for the Tigers against Adam Morgan. You've seen enough from Adam Morgan after 6 pitches?
He looks pretty sharp. Oh, he looked sharp in the game, the first home game here that I had the privilege of doing.
Said he topped off that day at 93, which is probably about 2 miles better than what he had been last year. As he gets stronger each year he passes from that shoulder injury. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think you'll see, you know, I mean, it seems to be that he's going to be in long relief. So if he's a 1-inning, 2-inning pitcher, you might see that velocity jump up too.
Pete was telling us the other day that although he's looking at him that way, he said, but I may use him on, let's say, a Monday to get a couple lefties out. And then, you know, if it's in the 7th inning, knowing I don't need the long man at that point. And then I need him to come back, let's say the next day or the day after that, to be the actual long man. So I need a little versatility. Outside, 3-1.
Listen to him talk to Murphy. He's willing to do whatever. And
absolutely.
You know, that's what you got to love. A young guy who's, you know, hey, whatever they need, I'll do. You know, so many times we hear, we read, you know, behind the off the record type stuff of, you know, I'm not pitching in relief. I'm not going to, you know, you want me to pitch 1 inning, you got to let me know what day it's going to be. Wow.
Out to right center field. Saunders on the run. He's not going to get to it. He makes a nice backhanded play, and the throw to second base is not in time. Castellanos is safe. He did a pretty good job of making that a play at second base.
Yeah, really good play on both ends. Castellanos, of course, you know, getting out of the box really good. He didn't stand there and watch it. You see it as soon as it left the bat, he's off to the races. But watch Saunders right here. This is what length does for you. He gets to cut that ball off before it gets to the wall. makes a strong throw a little bit up the line, up, you know, toward first base. Freddie had to go get it and try to get back and get Castellanos, but he's in safe with the leadoff double.
And now the shift is on for Justin Upton, who homered his first time up. He had 31 home runs last year. He had 13 home runs in September.
Yeah, he got off to a horrible start, and I didn't think I'd see that.
Trying to go the other way through that hole.
Yeah, well, he's trying to move the runner with, you know, with this Tigers offense. When it's all here, you know, you can give up an at bat to get a runner over, knowing that the guy behind you probably knows how to drive in a run. But he did. He got off to a horrendous start, and you know, of course, when you sign a contract and people are saying, well, you know, he's trying too hard, he's pressing, and you know, once he relaxed a little bit and just let his natural ability take over, ended up pretty well for him.
Fly ball to shallow right field. Kingree's out. Saunders is in. Kingree makes the call on the catch. And one away. Tigers offensive ranks, Wally Joyner was their hitting coach, and you wouldn't think that you'd want to leave if you're the hitting coach when you put up those kind of numbers, but he decided that he didn't want to be back, so Brad Ausmus hired the guy that he's talking to right now. That's Lloyd McClendon, who is taken over as his hitting coach.
Well, Lloyd was there in Detroit a long time when Jim Leland was there, and he left to go to Seattle, and now he's back in the Tigers organization. But yeah, that's got to be a fun group to work with.
Amen. Moya's lined out and he is struck out.
Tell you what, Victor Martinez, even though he's not here, normally the designated hitter for the Detroit Tigers, you watch his at bats. I mean, it's like he takes it like this might be the last at bat I ever have in my life.
There's a story you told before you and I were talking. You said that if he and Miguel Cabrera aren't happy with their BP,
they leave the field and go right to the batting cage.
And up until game time, just keep hitting?
Keep hitting until they feel like it's right.
Stretching going on. Keeping that elbow loose. And tied up Moya, and it's 1-1. It's going to be a heck of a division, though. You figure the Tigers, the Indians, the Royals, they think they're improved, even though they've lost some offense. And of course, they lost Ventura, unfortunately, with his passing this past offseason.
Yeah, you know, Michael Brantley, I think, you know, they bring in Edwin Encarnacion, but they lose a big clubhouse presence in Mike Napoli. But, you know, if Michael Brantley's back and playing to his capabilities, they're going to be so much better offensively. And I believe they led the league in runs scored last year. I think Cleveland did.
And not only that, as Moya hits that one out toward left, and it's going to slice away from Kendrick off the base of the wall. Castellanos around third, heading for home. The throw by Galvis won't get there, and it's a 5-3 game. So Moya has a base hit and an RBI.
I'm not sure what Moya was thinking about right there. I mean, he hits the ball to left field off the wall, and I think he got caught watching. I think he didn't know how he was going to catch it, so he started jogging. Howie comes up throwing toward home to Freddie. Freddie throws it home. Castellanos scores standing up from second. Moya's now on first base.
Yeah, he should be standing at second.
Should be standing on second.
Well, he's out of the game. Juan Perez comes on to pinch run. And here is James McCann. 0-1.
They got a couple guys on this Tigers coaching staff that there's a certain way to play. There's a right way and a wrong way, and I don't think they were very happy with that way. And that's third base coach Dave Clark, and you know, we mentioned Lloyd McClendon. They two pretty hard-nosed players if you ever played against them.
Up and away, and it's 1-1. In fact, the Tigers coaching staff features Omar Vizquel, who is over at first base. There's Dave Clark. And our old friends Rich Doobie as the pitching coach. There's Lloyd.
One of the funniest men in baseball. Nick Billmeyer.
He's out in the bullpen. He was holding court today with Charlie behind the cage. Here's the staff. And of course, Gene Lamont. Forgot about Gene Lamont as the bench coach.
Gino was my manager at the White Sox. Great baseball man. They have defensive coordinator. What is this, football?
There's coaches everywhere now.
Leon Durham. They didn't know Bull was over there. The other Bull. We have the original.
Caught by Andres Blanco from his backside to first in time. That is a fancy double play. Andres Blanco with great reactions to flag it down, and he had plenty of time to let it loose from his backside to make a clean throw over to first. The Tigers do get a run. Trading Baseball is always live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Last of the 6th inning. Phillies now trail at 5-3.
You got the changes.
I do have they have a ton of changes.
Every player, I think.
I think center field they've stood pat with Matuk. And just now getting the outfield here. We got Juan Perez in right. Here's the new pitcher, Shane Green. This guy's got a good arm. 5-4 with a 5.82 ERA. John, in case you're wondering, Brendan Ryan is playing shortstop. I have Logan Watkins playing short and second, but that's not right. So we're good to go now. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Daniel Nava that will lead it off.
That's the only thing we need to know. Daniel Nava's hit.
Nava hit by a pitch and he's walked. And he takes it inside 1-0.
The book must be pitched Daniel Nava in. Remember, Norris almost hit him his first at bat batting right-handed, and then he did get hit.
That's what you do. You wonder if it's the same. A lot of times it's not the same when a guy's a switch hitter, that he would be susceptible the same way right-handed as he would left-handed. Down low. Oh, no. Down low on the outside corner for a strike.
Low and away for strike one. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Oof. Tell you what, and that's the thing. If a pitcher could throw 2 more there, you got no chance.
Particularly because he started him off with the 2 inside, and he's probably thinking, all right, I'm getting another one inside.
Yeah, but that's Greg Maddux. That's why he won 309,000 games. You know, if he threw one there and they gave it to him, he'd throw another one there, and then another one. If you can't hit it, keep throwing it there.
Ground ball to second base. Logan Watkins is up with it. And one out here in the 6th. Speaking of Maddux, did you see that video of him punking Chris Bryant a couple weeks ago? Where they were doing some video of Chris Bryant hitting, and Maddux was disguised as the sound guy. And they were waiting for somebody to come pitch. And they said, well, you know, Chris has got to go. He can't wait any longer. And Greg Maddux is the sound guy, said, well, I'll throw to him. And he went in and he started throwing cutter, just, and everything was dipping down and away, and he kept fouling balls off.
Does great, a lot for your confidence,
sure does.
When you can't hit the sound guy.
Rhys Hoskins takes up and in, 1-0. Best part was, you know, Brian's like, can you throw it here? Can you throw it there? And he just kept throwing it right where Brian wanted it to.
I mean, you'd think Chris Bryant would have had an idea. I mean, they're both from Vegas.
Yeah. See some of the changes popping down from your screen as Hoskins breaks his bat. One ball, one strike to Hoskins.
355 wins for Mad Dog.
Hoskins will be followed by Andres Blanco here in the 6th inning. Remember, the Phillies have a split squad, so some of these regulars we might see a little bit longer here today. Rest of the crew is down in Sarasota. One, 2 to Hoskins.
We had split squads. We played at 10 o'clock. Like a minor league game.
Is that right?
Yeah, we didn't have like 2 teams playing 2 major league games.
I wonder if it was because there might have been a few more minor league teams in Florida back when you played. And a strike 3 call. By the way, that other game, it's 2-2. The Phillies and the Orioles.
Well, you mentioned the arm of Shane Green, and you know he can run that sinker in on your hands, and then he freezes Hoskins right there with a great breaking ball.
When Green was first brought up by the Yankees back in 2014, the thought was that he would be a starting pitcher in the big leagues, and that's what Detroit, that's where they started him, was as a starter. But then last year they used him out of the bullpen. I think that's where the Indians still have the advantage, is their bullpen. I mean, their starters are very good, but their bullpen.
And then they get a full year now of Andrew Miller.
No question.
Who
to the right side, base hit for Blanco. Second hit of the day.
I mean, if you were never a fan of Andrew Miller, you had to become a fan of him last year in the postseason when it was whatever you need, Terry, I'll do it. Good sign here. Blanco gets a pitch. It's running away. It's just enough of it to get it past the first baseman. Well, I'm sure you know his name.
That would be Dominic Fiacello.
Yeah. I was just testing you. I knew that.
Here's Hannigan. Hannigan walked his last time, singled his first time up. Outside, and it's 1-0.
ever see that video of Terry Francona getting to the ballpark on a scooter?
Not on a scooter, no.
Apparently someone 2 years ago, he had a regular scooter. He said it might have topped out at 20 miles an hour. He said someone gave him one. He called it his hog. He said it goes 35. He said it scares him to death.
So is he living? He's living downtown Cleveland.
Oh yeah, like two blocks away from the ballpark. You remember his first game? He got lost.
I do know that. I do remember that.
I mean, if you know Terry at all, it's not a shock.
He's on a scooter. Joe Madden, meanwhile, is on a bicycle. One of those little bicycles that he drives around.
Yeah, I'd rather have the scooter.
I would rather have the scooter also. Inside 2-1.
Yeah, he said the first time he got his new hog, he said once he got up to about 25, he started shaking. He said he started shaking. He thought he was going too fast. But he said it'll get up to 35 now.
I remember one time we were in San Diego. You know, our hotel now is very close to the ballpark, and previously it was about a half-mile, three-quarter of a mile walk. And if you've ever been to San Diego, they have a lot of the rickshaws on the bicycles and things like that. You know, the little carts in the back.
Oh yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they are now, because I couldn't remember if that's what they were called or not. But so Charlie Manuel and I were coming back from the ballpark, and I was weighing in at about 340 at that point, and Charlie was about 285. And this poor guy, because Charlie said, "Hey Tom, you want to come back to the hotel? I got myself one of those bicycles." So this guy is pedaling me and Charlie back from the hotel. We tipped him accordingly.
I would hope you would. Put it this way, that was probably his last ride of the night.
He was tuckered out by the time he got us back to the hotel.
Not sure a horse could have pulled you two.
There's a broken bat looper out to the right side. And Blanco will put the brakes on and just get back. Oh, man. So an infield hit for Hannigan. Blanco thought that was traveled a little bit, but fortunately I think he picked up Juan Samuel at the last moment.
I mean, you know, your job is when you're on first base to see where everyone's playing. The second baseman went a long way for that ball, so Blanco probably thought, you know what, I might be able to get to third. That ball should get through. And luckily stepped on the brakes, and a good throw would have had him. Well, Brendan Ryan was there in time, but a good throw would have had Blanco at second base. But now you're looking at an extra base hit could possibly tie this game.
Yeah, the Phillies now at 7 hits here this afternoon. Hits have not been an issue for them in spring training. They've had their share. And Galvis is 1 for 3.
Well, there's a huge gap in right center field if he can get that breaking ball from Shane Green and get out ahead of one.
And a high fly ball to deep right field toward the corner. It's staying fair, and it's off the wall. There's that extra base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Hannigan. He's heading home. The throw to the plate is not in time. And now Galvis is caught between second and third. The Phillies have tied this game up on Freddie Galvis's 2-run double. It's a 5-5 game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. All he needed was about 5 more feet, and the Phillies would have had the lead, but they'll settle for the tie.
Can a fillet or a New
Tied it up at 5. They have 8 base hits. Freddie Galvis just launched one off the top of the wall in right field. I think he thought this was gone.
Yeah, he got a pitch down and in. You see him right there. He's kind of watching it. There's no way it was going foul. But then you watch it play at home. It looked like if Gonzalez would have held his ground, he has Hannigan at home.
Yep.
And instead he thought, well, you know what? I'll get Galvis here at third base. Let the tying run score. But, yeah, to me, that's a situation where, you know, if Freddie hustles out of the box, he's into third easily. Once that throw comes to home, he's at third easily, but instead he jogs to first base, and then all of a sudden now I have to try to turn it on. He should have been at second base but well before that, and then when the throw came home, easily make it into third base. But yeah, look, you'll take the 2 runs, but especially when you're hitting at the top of the order, there's another hitter coming behind you that's probably a really good hitter. You know, you got to be on third base there
with a chance to take the lead. Adam Morgan begins again as Matok hits this one to third. It's foul. Hector Gomez fields it in foul territory. Here's some of the changes for the Phillies. Brock Stassi is playing left field. Dylan Cousins in at right. Just saw Gomez at third, and Logan Moore is catching. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike as Adam Morgan is beginning his 3rd inning of relief. Matok is 0 for 2. A couple ground outs. 1 to third, 1 to short. Change up outside. Back-to-back off-speed pitches.
Interesting here. You tie the game up. You want to get that first out.
Liner to right field, and that'll drop in for a hit. So Matok has the first hit of the spring, his first hit of the spring, after going 0 for his first 12. Let's check in with Greg Murphy's with Odubel Herrera.
Odubel Herrera indeed is here, and you know, we were just chatting a little bit before we got ready for the interview. Nice offseason for you. You get a chance to sign a new contract, which I know you're very excited about, to be in a Phillies uniform for a while.
Yeah. It was a very good season. I'm happy for the new contract, and my family is happy too.
Talk a little bit. Tomorrow you leave for Mexico to play for Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. Pretty excited about that? Are you looking forward to it?
No, I'm leaving first to Arizona, and yeah, I'm happy because I'm going to represent my country, my family, my team, and all my fans.
How much fun are you having out here? You're just having some fun with Freddie Galvis. You're yelling to him as he's playing shortside. You're having a good time playing this game, aren't you?
Yeah. I have always a good time playing this game, and I always enjoy with my teammates.
All right, Odubel, always good to talk to you. We appreciate it. Good luck in the World Baseball Classic. All right, guys.
Murph, I think you accomplished what Odubel asked you to do the other day, and that's make him look good today. You made him look good today.
We're always trying to make him look good.
Yeah.
He makes himself look good.
All right, here's Dominic Fiuccello. It was the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out, runner at first base. Just missed off the inside corner. It's 2-1.
Well, here you might think with the young pitcher, you know, he just threw that fastball in to made the batter move his feet. If you can throw something off speed, he might get this rollover grounder to third or short and try to turn a double play.
Two and two. Think about Morgan, though. He will throw his off-speed pitch at any point in the count. Bruce Rondon warming up in the bullpen. Over to third on 1 hop, knocked down by Gomez. A nice pick over at first base by Rhys Hoskins. 5-3 on the put out. Runner up to second base. And then with 1 away, Dixon Machado's coming up.
Good play right there by Hoskins.
He's got good hands over at first base.
Yeah, you talk about Stassi, how great he is defensively, but you know, Hoskins had a play earlier in the game, a high throw where he kept his foot on the base, didn't stretch too soon.
Well, Watkins up for the first time, takes a breaking ball. It's 1-0. Talk about the Phillies defensive alignment in the outfield. They've got Stassi in left right now, Williams in center field, and Cousins around in right field. Out of play. How much of an adjustment is it for Stassi to go from first base to the outfield? I mean, you went vice versa.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's a different angle. You know, he's used to seeing balls at first base, playing on the right side of the field. Now in left field, it's going to be different. To me, spring training was never easy playing outfield because it seems like, especially in Florida, there's always a breeze.
And you could take all the fly balls you want in practice, but it's still getting the action of a game.
Yeah, because the sound's different off the bat. You know, and that's really important in spring training to get that, to hear that sound. Like, you know when a ball's crushed and you know when a ball's not hit well just by the sound of the coming off the bat.
And there's strike two. It's 2-2 to Watkins. I think he senses, Stassi, that, you know, he's kind of on the doorstep. So this may be his opening to be able to play first, play the outfield, be an extra bat off the bench.
You know, being left-handed, you're limited. It's either outfield or first base unless you're a pitcher. So if you could play first base and you're above average or an adequate.
Good throw by Logan Moore, but it looked like the base runner may have gotten his hand in ahead of the tag from Gomez. Interesting.
Gomez seems to think he got him. I think Larry Bow would have challenged this if they challenged him. I don't know. I think he got his hand in.
He could have gotten right between his legs. He did.
Yep.
Yeah, he missed him and then finally got him on the belt when his hand was there. Strikeout for Morgan. 2 outs. And here is Brendan Ryan.
It's a great pitch right there. You got the infield in. You got a young left-handed hitter who, my job is to hit the ball in the air. You throw him a breaking ball down and away, pulls off. Even if he makes contact, it's either a grounder back to Morgan or a rollover grounder to Kingery or Hoskins.
Brendan Ryan signed a minor league deal with the Tigers this past offseason. So 1 for 10 so far this spring. 34 years old now.
Well, there's no doubt that his glove plays in the big leagues.
Sure does.
The problem is the bat's never caught up. And I remember going down to Cardinals spring training when he was coming up with the Cardinals, and they just raved about his glove, his attitude, his makeup, and the bat just hasn't ever came around.
Yeah, he had one really good year. It was 09, and that's when he hit 292. But since then, you know, it's been more about his defense than anything else. Morgan's fallen behind 3-0. Green light. Well, spring training green light.
Well, spring training green light, and the fact that you know, Collins on deck's a left-handed hitter, so maybe they were thinking, you know what, we'll try to steal one here.
Phillies have another lefty warming up in Joely Rodriguez. Check swing, ball 4. Here comes Bo. He's signaling for Joely Rodriguez, so they're going to go to the bullpen and get another left-hander here in the 7th inning. So Rodriguez is going to come in with 2 runners on base. Game tied at 5 here in the top of the 7th. Two outs here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 runners on base, and Joely Rodriguez will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. Rodriguez last year with Reading 7-0 with a 2.57 ERA. And now he's a situational lefty for the Phils, and he's coming in a spot where he's facing a lefty. And it'll be Tyler Collins, guy the Phillies got from the Pittsburgh Pirates organization for Antonio Bastardo. So this is a good spot for him just to kind of test himself a little bit and see if he can work out of this jam with the lefty coming up.
It's a great situation. You know, now you're coming in with the go-ahead run late in the game, 7th inning, and it's a great work for him. You know, even though it's probably not someone he's going to face in the regular season, but it's still a left-handed batter he gets to look at.
Swing and a miss. All right, so you were a lefty. I mean, looking at the way he comes at you like that, I mean, that's a tough guy to pick up if you're a lefty.
Yeah, tough to pick up, and as a hitter, you have to every pitch tell yourself, keep your shoulder in, keep your front shoulder in, because if you open that front shoulder just a little bit, you ain't got a chance.
94 miles an hour now. Rodriguez will top off at about 95, so he's close to that here now. He has a very good shot at making this club as one of the lefties. Now, Pete said we may not take any lefties, but we'd like to. And it's a ball out of his hand. It's 2-1.
You know, I think you know, you wouldn't mind having at least one down there.
Absolutely.
Especially against Washington, and you know, open the season at Cincinnati, and Joey Votto's there, and Bryce Harper. You know, you got to figure out a lefty who can get those guys out.
Collins may have helped out there, but his stuff is, you know, he's got some movement on it.
At 95 with the slider like that, and then especially a low 3/4. Hey, he can make it difficult on lefties.
Check swing. And no appeal, so 3-2. Good hold.
But you see that front shoulder of Collins, how it's just pulling off just a little bit, and just that little bit, if it's a strike, even if you make contact, it's not going to be hard contact anywhere.
And a strike 3 called. He snuck a fastball up in the zone. Collins doesn't think so. Rodriguez will take it. Tigers lead 2. Time to stretch. Head coach of Villanova grad Jim Curtin leads his Philadelphia Union into Vancouver to kick off their MLS season. Again, it's going to be the Union versus the Whitecaps tonight at 9:30 over on TCN. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Phillies and the Tigers tied it at 5. New center fielder is Jacoby Jones for the Tigers. And Bruce Rondon, who had a 2.97 ERA last year for the Tigers, will come on to face Scott Kingery. That's a big fella right here. The Tigers bullpen is anchored by Frankie Rodriguez. Rondon last year pitched in 37 games, had an ERA of 2.97. Upstairs, 1-1. Last year, the Tigers bullpen had a 4.22 ERA. That's not going to compete with the Cleveland Indians.
No, not at all.
2-1.
And that, like you said, they'll score runs. Their starting pitching's good. Defensively, they're okay. But, man, you don't know how frustrating that is to take leads and bullpen come in and can't hold it.
3 balls and 1 strikes. Well, Rodriguez last year had 44 saves for the Tigers, so he did what he needed to do. ERA was about a run higher last year compared to the year before, but he was also in the National League the year before.
I don't know how big a difference that is as a closer.
I don't know.
Because you know he's not facing the pitcher in the 9th inning. At least.
Really, either league.
You wouldn't know.
So it's So it's basically the same.
I mean, the NL Central. Cubs, Cardinals, yeah, they can score. Pirates.
Rodriguez, by the way, will enter this year with 430 career saves.
Talk about reinventing yourself. Remember when he first came up with the Angels?
He was max effort.
Mid to high 90s. Every once in a while he'd throw a breaking ball. Now it's, you know,
change
90,
up,
89,
change
90,
up.
change up.
Yeah. Kingery is 0 for 3 today. And ball 4. So the Phils have the leadoff batter aboard to begin the 7th inning. And here comes Dylan Cousins. Drew Verhagen is warming up in the pen for the Tigers. Phillies will have a couple left-handers in a row. Cousins and then Brock Stassi. 4 for 14 so far for Cousins. He's really hung in there against some left-handers too during spring training. Well, that could have been the best fastball he's gotten this spring as far as hitting goes.
94 center cut.
He's also stolen a couple bases this spring. You know, you can look at all the numbers as you watch this pitch.
Got that lift and separate. You saw that bat go underneath that ball. That was not a I'm going to punch this to left swing.
0-2.
See how that bat goes underneath, but remember the first one held on with 2 hands. This one he lets go with 1 hand, so I think he's caught in between here on fastballs, which is kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Last year in Double-A, not only did he set the franchise home run record, he also stole 21 bases. He was only caught 1 time last year. He got him 3 straight fastballs. And there's the first out here in the 7th, and Stassi's coming up.
Well, yeah, he swung through the first two, so you know, Rondon just said, why not challenge him up again? And he challenges him up, and Cousins again swings underneath it. And that's the difficult part when they talk about, well, we'll keep him off the bench. He's not used to this. He's not used to getting one at bat where, you know, you might only get one fastball to hit.
Runner goes. Throw to second, not in time. Stolen base for Kingery. I think you also have to be careful because he's so young.
Hey, Kingery got a great jump. That was no chance to be thrown out on that one. I mean, look how he was over halfway there before the ball got to the catcher.
Two 2-0 to Stassi. Stassi up for the first time. He's taken the spot vacated by Howie Kendrick. And past Mickey Morandini. Oh, nice play. Got to have a feel, Johnny. Got to have a feel.
Hey, wow. Backhand envious of some of the best fielders I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at that. Hits the lip. It stays down. She gloves it.
All in a day's work. Breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
Pulled her head a little. We got that's something that Larry Bow and Mickey Morandini are gonna have to work with her on. Got to keep your head down.
Take her back over to Jack Russell to Iwo Jima.
Bad memories.
Another chance. Tark got in the way.
That's dangerous.
That was dangerous.
Yeah, she's lucky that thing hit the tarp and kicked that way. Wind's starting to pick up too.
Inside, 3-2 to Stassi. Was there one camp that you knew, okay, I'm going to make it this year to the big leagues?
No.
Not early on with the Padres. There's nothing.
I only had one.
Really?
Yeah, I was basically told that if you don't make the team, you're done.
Really?
Yeah. There's no pressure.
That's a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. I had a good spring and came down to the last day where it ended up. I was told I was being sent back to AAA for a third year, and Bobby Brown, you know, played, of course, with the Padres, with them, with the Yankees. He retired, and he told me he wanted to be the one to tell me that I made the team. He retired so I could play.
Did he really?
He said, at this point, you're a better player, and I have businesses in Atlantic City, you know, New Jersey, and he said that, you know, I'm gonna.
It's very admirable of him to do that.
I tell you what, I owe him, because I quit.
You weren't going to go back to AAA?
Nope, I told Jack McKeon a lot of not nice things, and you know, I basically told him I quit. I was packing my stuff up and going back home.
So a picture of Jack McKeon the other day. He was in uniform, Marlins camp.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Swing and a miss to Nick Williams. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Brown wound up playing 7 years.
Yeah.
245 lifetime hitter with the Blue Jays, the Yankees, Seattle, and San Diego.
Funny man. Tell you what, for the Phillies not scoring a run this inning, it's been a long one, hasn't it?
It has. A couple of walks issued by Rendon.
Let's score a couple runs then. If he wants to walk you, let's let him score.
Inside, 3-1. This may wind up being his final batter.
That Brad Osmus looks like he's really excited. They have to go out and take him out. In spring training, that's your dream as a manager. Make sure you have to take your pitchers out.
Yeah, they'll send Doobie out this time. Fly ball left field. Boy, the wind is really carrying that into the picnic area. That was a routine fly ball.
Started out that way. Ended up, and that, you know, you're talking about putting a guy out there like Stassi, who's inexperienced in the outfield, and you know, these are the things that, you know, if a ball's hit like that and you give up on it and it ends up staying fair, you know, or a fly ball in the gap in left center and the wind's blowing it back, and you got, I mean, these are all these things that he's never had to do.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Williams. Now time is called. Nick Williams, who spent all of last year in AAA. Phillies acquired him from the Texas Rangers in the Cole Hamels trade. To the right side. Ooh, it ate up the first baseman, Fiacello, and the Phillies are going to take the lead. Kingery will score. It's now a 6-5 ball game. That ball was hit right on the nose by Nick Williams. And here comes Brad Osmus. He is making that walk.
Well, the good thing is he's signaled already.
Yeah.
Brad ain't in a hurry, that's for sure.
Nick Williams has given the Phillies the lead. We've got a pitching change with 1 out here in the 7th. Tomorrow on CSN, Rookie of the Year favorite Dario Saric and the Sixers close out a 3-game homestand when they tangle with Milwaukee. Sixers versus Bucks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 here on CSN and stream it live on the NBC Sports app. Saric played well in the last game for the Sixers. They wound up losing to the Pistons. Here the Phillies have taken the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. I think that young lady realizes they've taken the lead. And a pitching change for the Tigers as Ruben Alanis will take over on the mound for Bruce Rendon. And he will face Daniel Nava. This ball was hit on the nose, and Fiacello had no chance.
Yeah, even though you're playing back behind the runners with first and second, I mean, watch him get caught in between. You see the step?
Yeah.
He couldn't quite get over to make one more step to try to block it. I mean, that's a ball you have to try to get in front of. If you don't glove it, you block it. Even if you don't get an out, Kingery can't score from second base if you knock it down. And he tried to glove it. It goes past him, and the Fighting Phils take a 6-5 lead.
That's right. They've climbed all the way back from a 4-0 deficit. Yesterday, they were down 4-1. As Nava takes outside. Phillies have lost the other split squad game today, 3-2 to the Orioles. Maybe Pete can get back from Sarasota in time and take credit for this one.
They lost in Sarasota?
Lost in Sarasota.
Huh, and we're in the 7th. Interesting.
Little pitcher's duel down there, it seems.
What was the score?
3-2.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you see many pitchers duels with the Orioles.
No.
Offense, I mean, their starting pitching's their weak point, and their offense is, and their defense is their strong point.
One to Nava. Outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nava has played the entire day as the DH. He has walked, he's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out.
We're just watching Alumni's pitch. I don't know. You know, when you watch a guy, you try to take away one part or the other, but it looks like the way his arm angle is, the way his ball moves, I don't know if he can get something in on Nava. So I'd look to try to hit the ball the other way.
Here you go again. He's outside corner again.
It just seems like, you know, the way he delivers the ball, it's going to be tough for him to get inside on lefties. Here he's trying to come in. We'll see if he can get it in there. Nope.
He did not.
That's what I mean. You know, that pitch was designed to be in or in off the plate to try to break a bat, try to get a ground ball double play, but you look where it ends up.
Wow.
I mean, it ends up right over the center of the plate, even center away.
Yeah, I think he's fortunate that it tailed a little bit more at the end.
Yeah, if not, that ball's probably hit on the screws up the middle somewhere.
Quick toss over. If Williams might think about taking off at some point. He's got good speed. It's one of his strong attributes.
And it's up to Nava to put the ball in play on the ground up the middle if he's running. Get a strike. Try to hit a ball up the middle where the middle infield can't turn a double play, but your runner on third can score.
Outside. Tigers are running out of or not running out of pitchers. As we mentioned, they have a handful of them, but they've gone a little deeper, I think, than they expected today as far as their staff goes. This is already the 7th pitcher that they've used today.
We're thankful for that.
Yeah.
You know, known Larry Bowa for a long time. I would be absolutely shocked if Williams doesn't run right here.
There he goes. Pitch is outside, ball 4, and the bases are now loaded for Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins homered back in the 4th inning. Larry crushing some seeds over there.
That's even fun to watch him do it one at a time.
I think the best is when he's trying to open up a bag and they fly all over.
Look at that.
Yep.
Well, are there pumpkin seeds he's eating?
Looks like they are a different style. Yeah.
They're pumpkin seeds. Those are good, but they're so hard to get out.
Hoskins takes way in.
Well, we said it. It is the way Alanis's arm slot is. You know, if you're Hoskins right here, you got to think to yourself, look in early.
Yeah, so he can get it into righties.
Yeah, he'll be able to do that. Now, he might try to go away to see if he can get a grounder, but.
Ooh. Towering pop-up on the infield. Infield fly rule will be signaled. The winds is always a challenge, but the shortstop, Brendan Ryan, is able to corral that. 2 outs. And here's Hector Gomez.
Well, he got a pitch to drive, did Hoskins. I mean, that pitch is center cut. Again, trying to go away. It leaks over the center of the plate. And Hoskins just got under it. That is the exuberance of youth right there. He was
jumpy.
Well, he wasn't going to try to hit this one over the tiki bar. He was going to try to hit it over the complex. The Paul Owens complex over there. Maybe a minor league game's going on. They could have made a play.
Gomez takes, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Hector Gomez, who spent last year over in Korea. He signed him this past offseason. In fact, watched some film the other day. Darren Ruff hit his first home run over in Korea 2 days ago.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I think what was coming up in the Phillies organization with the surplus of power and most of them corner outfield first base.
There's a liner out toward right field, and it is over the head of Perez, going to the wall. 2 runs have already scored, and they'll hold Nava at third. It's a 2-run opposite field double for Gomez. Phil's now lead at 8-5. A little pop there by Hector Gomez.
Tell you what, he cut right through that wind on that hard hit line drive to right field. I mean, finally, Alumni, and that's what's amazing to me. First pitch he's been able to get away from a right-handed hitter, and you're looking for it, and you hit a rocket short up the right field fence. That's a beautiful thing.
Well, the Phillies now lead it by 3. Here's Logan Moore. And Moore takes a fastball. Logan Moore most likely will be heading to AAA. 0 for 5 so far this spring. Ground ball right side. Nice play by the second baseman Watkins. Phillies settle for 3, but they take the lead here in the 7th inning. On to the 8th. Phillies up 8-5. Fanatic has been looking for somebody to play the banjo against for the last 20 years, and I think he has finally met his match with Robert Person.
Well, Robert's in tune with this one.
Yes, he is. That's right.
That is beautiful.
Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Robert Person said, I'm going to take this seriously. The Fanatic is not going to beat me in this one.
Always that competitive edge.
That's right. Remember that game where he hit the 2 home runs, Robert Person. He was a heck of an athlete. All right, so we go to the top of the 8th inning. The Phillies lead it 8-5. And Joely Rodriguez will continue out on the mound. Zach Cox is the hitter. And he takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. So you got an assortment of lefties here for Joely Rodriguez to face. Not only to get out of the 7th inning, but now to start this 8th inning. Two 2-0. He may have swung at ball 3. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's Zach Cox wearing number 96, trying to impress. 2-0. I'm going to let it fly. Problem is, he didn't get a good pitch to hit to let it fly on.
No.
And then he gets painted away.
Yep.
And but that's the big leagues. You know, you swing at a bad pitch, and then they make a great pitch, and now all of a sudden, instead of being 3-1, it's 2-2.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Ben was telling a story the other day about numbers where one camp he came in, he was, I think it was 55, and then the next camp he came in, he was 66, and he didn't know how to take that. He was going farther away from an everyday number.
Not that we're telling you something, but we're telling you something.
It was ball 4, and now Michael Gerber will be the batter for the Tigers. Gerber up for the first time today. This is Justin Upton's spot. Upton had a 3-run home run in the first. And that's on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Gerber is a non-roster invitee to camp. Spent last year in Lakeland and in Erie in AA. Fouls it away, 0-2.
That's got to be hot, that Florida State League. Wow.
And then you sort of then you go to Erie, Pennsylvania after that.
Hey, at least it's cooler.
Well, I was going to say, at least it would be better to go later on after hitting 14 home runs in Lakeland. Swing and a miss. Pretty good breaking pitch. 2 strikeouts for Rodriguez.
Very efficient, too. And the key was strike 1. He threw a fastball away to get strike 1, and it sets up the whole at bat. You can throw a fastball away and then throw that to follow. He's going to be tough on any lefty.
Here is Juan Perez.
And I like the one there, too, where they say, well, big league hitters won't swing at that pitch in the dirt. Oh, please.
Yes, they will. Well, that's why, I mean, you're right about, you talk about Harper and some of the other lefties.
Daniel Murphy.
It is so important for the Phillies if they can find a lefty to use, for 2 batters, 3 for an inning in the third, whatever.
I mean, but you look at pretty much every team. Lucas Duda, Curtis Granderson for the Mets, Harper, Murphy.
Fly ball to shallow right. Cousins. Whoop, makes the catch. 2 outs.
Freddie Freeman. When those guys come up late in the game and with the game on the line, you have to have a lefty to get them out.
Yeah, even if it's just the 1 batter. Here's Miguel Gonzalez, who is the catcher for the Tigers right now.
Oh, that Brave staff, huh? Bartolo, R.A. Dickey.
And then they come back with Julio Teheran.
He's got some good stuff, doesn't he?
Teheran?
Teheran.
I really thought they were going to trade him last year, and they still might, but I think they wanted to have somebody like him to open up the new stadium. Here's that Braves staff. Jaime Garcia, if he's good.
Forgot about Jaime.
He's healthy.
Yeah. And I can't pronounce the last guy. Mike.
Fulton-Evans, they call him Fulty.
Fulty, yeah.
Hot shot toward the middle. A base hit for Gonzalez. That'll put runners on first and second. And it brings Jacoby Jones to the plate. Former third-round pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I think I've seen that more recently than I have before. There's a breaking ball away. Gonzalez just goes out and rips into center field. But like Dansby Swanson was the first pick in the draft, what, 2 or 3 years ago?
Right.
And they traded him.
Correct.
You know, you never saw that one, you know, in recent memory. I mean, you rarely ever saw a guy that was your first round pick that gets traded that quickly.
Yeah, usually you at least sort of percolate a little bit in the system for a few years.
And he played well when he got called up, or when he got traded to the Braves.
Yeah, he's going to be their everyday shortstop for a long time.
Good kid too, really good kid.
There's a line drive caught by Freddie Galvis. That ball was hit right on the nose, but Jones has nothing to show for it. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Spectrum Field. Phillies lead at 8-5 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning as they erased a 4-0 deficit. So here are the changes for the Tigers going into 2017. They signed the veteran Omar Infante to be one of their backups on the infield. David Lowe, the former Phil. He is battling for a spot on their everyday roster. They haven't really added a whole lot because we mentioned their payroll was close to $200 million. They did trade Cameron Maben and they let Jared Saltalamacchia go. But in reality, they're going to let it fly with what they had in 2016 for the most part.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You would think they would have gone out and tried to get some bullpen help to help out Frankie Rodriguez at the end of the bullpen, but you know, there's a lot of teams when you talk to general managers, they think, well, we can just, you know, we can build a bullpen every year. You know, but
it is true. Some people feel that way. Yeah.
But Detroit hasn't been able to do that yet.
Galvis lifts it out to left field. Gerber's on the run and makes the catch, backpedaling. And there's one away. And now Scott Kingre's coming up. One advantage that you've had, doing national games is that you've gotten a chance to meet with a lot of these managers because you were, we're going into the postseason and stuff like that. How is Brad Ausmus as when you meet with him? Do you like him?
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
like dry, but we all know he's the smartest one in the room.
Right.
But he doesn't, and that's what makes it so much fun to hang around it. Like his sense of humor, like you just his face, his facial expression never changes. It'll say some of the funniest things, but he's one of the few managers when you go in that will actually tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that is.
Oh yeah. Tom Eshelman is number 92. Adebray Ramos is the other pitcher warming up for the Phillies. As Kingery takes low, it's 2-0. It's hard to argue with what Ausmus has done. He's been given a great payroll as a manager,
yes.
But he's won 250 games during his career.
And every year they talk about, he might be, you read stuff from people, and he might be he might be getting fired, and what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
You can only mix and match your bullpen so many times, and
fouled out the right field line off the bat of Kingery. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Phillies second baseman. There's Brad Ausmus. Gene Lamont next to him. 4th major league season, 250 wins, first place in 2014. And he fouls the Verhagen pitch back.
Who are the managers you like talking to?
Terry Francona is one. I mean, he just makes you laugh.
Did he ever tell you this popsicle story?
No. Can you tell it on the air?
Yeah, he's trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So he wants to start eating healthy. So he saw these popsicles. It says fruit, fruit sticks or
100% fruit.
100% fruit, but he doesn't realize that there's like all this, sugars and stuff in it. He ate 17 of them in 7 innings.
He should have just had like 3 glasses of fruit juice or something like that.
Well, he couldn't understand why he was so sick that night.
He's a funny man.
Yeah.
John Gibbons from Toronto. He's kind of a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Kind of like talking to him.
Yeah.
In our league, because we've gotten a chance to meet with a lot of the managers. It's a topper up the first base line. Oh, nice play by Gonzalez. 2-3 on the putout. Pretty easy 8th inning. We'll head to the 9th inning. It's 8-5. Phillies on top. Inning, the Phillies are on top 8-5. They're trying to split their day. The split squad down in Sarasota wound up losing today, but here they're leading 8-5. And Edubray Ramos will take over for the Phillies. Ramos really stepped onto the scene last year, did a heck of a job as one of the power arms out of the Phillies bullpen. And he is on to face the Tigers here at the top of the 9th inning. Clay Buchholz started. And they went 3 innings, allowed 4 earned runs. Adam Morgan did a nice job in long relief today, 2 2/3. He allowed 3 hits and 1 run. So now Ramos is trying to clean things up. Here is Dominic Fiacello, the first baseman. Well, he's trying to get to 5 wins this spring. I don't think there's anything to sneeze about as far as the offense goes just yet. They are putting some hits up on the board.
Yeah, it's good to see. Yeah, that was all people talked about coming into spring. Can they score runs?
Yep.
And it is spring, but you can almost tell, though, that the at-bats seem like they're better.
I agree with that.
I mean, there's a couple that get away from them every once in a while. You know, Dubel had one today. But, you know, for the most part, they're putting together good at-bats.
I'm actually surprised. I think I said this the other day, just how relaxed the young guys look, too, when they're up there. I mean, you know, some of these guys, you expect them to be a little tighter because it's their first time in camp, but it doesn't seem like it's phasing them. Although Andrew Knapp made it a good point yesterday. He said, you know, a lot of us were here last year. We just didn't get a whole lot of at-bats, so that's when we kind of were happy to be here.
Yeah.
And now this is the year where we understand that there might be a job for us to win. 2-1 to Fiacello.
Tell you, there's nothing like competition in spring training.
Particularly when you know it's open, that there is an open competition. 3-1. And ball 4. So Ramos walks the leadoff batter in a 3-run game. And Logan Watkins is due to hit.
Well, that's not what the brass wants to see.
Yeah.
3-run lead, top of the 9th, 5-pitch walk.
Kind of overthrew that last pitch.
Just by a lot.
Yeah.
Take that one.
He's got a pretty good pace to himself, though. He's getting it going.
Yeah. Must have a dinner reservations or late lunch.
Phillies have Mark Leiter warming in the bullpen.
I talked to Mark over there at the minor league camp.
Did you?
Yeah. Like his dad, very nice.
Talk about a kid that's gradually ascending up the ladder in the system. Swing and a miss. Out number 1. That's a pretty good counter right there.
That ain't a lot of fun. 95 fastball, and then that. What is that pitch?
I think it's
split
a split
finger.
Yeah.
That thing starts out knee high, and you think, I got this one, and just disappears.
So now Ramos will face Brendan Ryan, who's up for the second time. He walked his first time up.
That a 6-4-3 double play to end this baby.
That'd be a nice way to wrap it up. Fly ball to right field. Cousins heading back. And 2 outs. Not that that play is any indication, but the coaching staff at Reading have talked about how good Cousins has become defensively, and they feel like he's advanced as even last year went on.
Yeah, I mean that ball's one, and granted it's hit into the wind, but it's a line drive. It's going to slice away from you, and his first step was to the slice side, and it made it look really, really easy.
Tyler Collins takes low, 1-0. Hadn't played a lot of center field last year, Cousins, and he certainly has the speed to cover that.
And he hit how many home runs too? 38.
Set the record.
38, 39,
40.
Oh, is that all?
Back toward the middle. Kingery waits for the big hop and throws Collins out, and the Phils for the second consecutive day come from behind to pick up a victory. Today they win it by a final of 8-5. So Larry Bow will have some bragging rights in the clubhouse today, along with Pete Mackanin.
He won't bring that up.
I don't think he will. No, I don't think he will. It's probably going through his mind right now what he's going to say to him. So he's got some pretty big swings. Here's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. Man, how about this play right here?
An unbelievable play. You talk about arm strength, core strength to throw in a seated position all the way from third to first. Hoskins with a great stretch. Thwarted a rally for the Detroit Tigers and led the Phils on to victory.
Yeah, sometimes we mix it up a little bit. Sometimes we provide you with a hit as our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. Sometimes we'll throw in a defensive play. Phillies with 8 runs on 10 base hits today. Offensively, they continue to stockpile the double-digit hits. I mean, there's some pretty good things that happened today. I mean, even some of the swings, it's back-to-back games where they put together either a bat-around inning or close to a bat-around inning to get some runs.
Yeah, and it's very promising if you're a team that a person who's wondering what this offense is about. It looks like they're buying into what Matt Stairs has been teaching and telling us about putting together quality at bats. Shortening up with 2 strikes, making more contact. You see what the end result is when you do those things. You put up 8 runs and double-digit hits.
Well, contact is so important, and Nick Williams made some pretty good contact in his at-bat today, and he's down on the field with Greg Murphy.
He did indeed, Tom, and it was his signal that put the Phils ahead for good in this one. Always nice to get a win, even when it's just spring training, but you've got to feel pretty good about what's happening, especially late in games for you guys down here so far in Clearwater. Seem to be never out of anything at this point.
No, never, especially with the young guys coming in. But, yeah, it's incredible how this is happening because, sitting out, in the sun watching the game for a while, it could be pretty tiresome, but the way all these guys are staying engaged, to go out in big situations and get it done, that's amazing.
This is your second spring with the Phillies organization here in Major League Camp, and I got to believe the comfort level for you this year much better than last year, even as you continue to grow within this organization. Yeah.
Oh yes, for sure. Last year I'm not gonna lie, I was out of place. I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of like on my toes, but this year, it's more. I feel more laid back, and just feel like you fit in, especially in your second one. So it's just a good feeling.
And I guess that makes it a little bit easier to play well, right?
Oh, for sure. It's last year I felt like everyone was all staring at me, but this year, just think and have fun and go out there. It's not every day you get to play in big league camp.
Tom and John were just talking about the young guys in general and the approach that you guys are taking. And I know you've worked with Matt Stairs so far as the hitting coach here, and it's been a positive experience for you, has it not?
Yeah, very positive. What he's saying, I don't know. Today I almost walked again, but I see balls better. I feel comfortable up there. And at first, it's getting used to, but now I feel a lot comfortable. I feel like I know myself and I know the strike zone pretty well.
All right, it's all working out for you. Nick, we appreciate your time. Congratulations, guys. Back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. Phil's win it 8-5. Larry Boa meeting with the media. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.